Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the last match of the Rugby Championship. There is a lot on the line for this one. The big news of this matchup, of course, is that the Springboks, they need to win this game with a bonus point. And then on top of that, they also need to win it by the 39 points. Looking through at the way that the table sits, New Zealand at the top. They have set the target. Now South Africa, they are going to be trying to chase it. New Zealand, they won their game up against Australia, 40 points to 14. Very impressive win there. So they sit on 19 points with that points differential of plus 67. Then South Africa, they are in second. They have played 5 games, 3 wins. This could be their 4th if they get it right in South Africa for this contest. They did win in Argentina, so that is a bonus for them. Now heading home, try and take out the Rugby Championship. There is also another side, though, that can climb up the rankings a little bit. Argentina, if they lose this game by less than 7, they will actually overtake Australia, and Australia will find themselves finishing last in this year's Rugby Championship, which is the last thing they would have wanted. But Argentina, they played very well throughout this year, which is why they cannot be underestimated going into this exciting contest. But looking through at the sides, South Africa, first of all, Stephen Kitsoff, Malcolm Marx, and Franz Malherbe will be the very strong front row. They are unchanged from last week's game. They feel they were able to get the job done effectively in the early stages of the contest, and that is the way they have decided to keep it. Eben Etzebeth and Lou Diacha will be there as the locks. A lot of physicality there from Etzebeth, plus that line-out steal of Lou Diacha could be extremely dangerous for the Boks if they can get it right. Plus, another thing to mention, the rolling maul. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a whole heap of rolling maul attempts here from the Springboks. Keep on trying to march themselves forward, and it would be a very effective way of attacking up against this Pumas outfit. Looking through at the loose forward trio, it will be Sia Khaleesi at number 6. Number 7, Peter Steftatoy makes his way back into the starting lineup. That is rather than Franco Mostert. And then at number 8, it is Jasper Visa. Looking through at the chat very quickly, we have got right next game, CSCP. We just finished our last game of the URC where the Stormers were victorious over Connacht, 38 points to 15, managing to get themselves that bonus point in the process as well. We have got Woo, says Ollie, and also let's go the Kiwi Lads. Vamos Pumas, says Nathan, in the New Zealand flags from Cooper Cronk. The pancakes are banging, by the way, says Jason. So that is brilliant to hear. And let's go Pumas. Don't think that you're helping New Zealand. Think that you might get the Wallabies to finish in last. And also, we have got there, how's it, Hamish? Congrats on a great win today, says Nuno Morales. And the big thing is, Australia really didn't play like a side that wanted to win that game. And I think it was a big shame. They had a lot of handing errors, which is something that both of these sides want to make sure does not happen for this contest taking place. And at South Africa, of course, I believe it's a relatively dry day, which is quite handy. They may have a drinks break in between just to make sure that the players are well hydrated. They don't want anyone being dehydrated out there on the park, as there will be plenty of sweat dripping when these two sides start finding that explosive tempo. Jaden Hendrickse will be number 9 for this contest, with Frans Steyn for the first time in a decade finding himself at fly half. I'm excited to see what he will be able to do in this intriguing contest. Damien de Allende at number 12, Jesse Kriel at 13, unchanged from what we saw last week for the Boks. Makazole Mapimpi, Cannon Moody, and then Willie LaRue. So the only change in the back line is actually Frans Steyn, and he is going to be at the fly half. But we are 30 minutes away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. This game gets closer and closer by the minute, and as it gets closer, I get more and more nervous for these two sides. Looking through, though, at the traveling side for this match, they haven't traveled the best throughout this competition so far, but they did manage to get themselves that massive win over the All Blacks on the road, which is one that they will keep with them for a very long time. This is the Argentine lineup. Will be Nahul Tita Chaparro, Jorge Montoya, and Eduardo Bello in the front row. Then the locks unchanged from last week, Matthias Alemano and Thomas Lavanini. Then the loose forward trio, one of the leading try scorers in the competition, at number 6 for the blind side. It has Juan Matan Gonzalez, Marcos Crema at number 7, the aggressive fireball of rage, as I like to call him. And then at number 8, it will be Pablo Matera, the most capped Argentine player in the starting lineup for this fixture. Then looking through at the back line, Gonzalo Berrano will be starting at 9, Santiago Carreras at 10. So that is an unchanged combo. And both of those individuals got themselves yellow cards in last week's match. So the discipline of the Pumas, it's an important factor in this game as they can't afford to give South Africa penalties. Definitely not inside of the Pumas territory, or else they will go for the corner. They will be effective, getting a whole heap of points on the board from their rolling maul. Looking through at the centres, it is Geronimo de la Fuente and Matthías Moroni at number 13. Juan Emoff makes his way into the side that is replacing Lucio Cinti, Emiliano Boffelli at 14, and Juan Cruz Malia there at number 15. So that is the starting lineup, and now we move on to the reserves for both of these sides. We have got Mahai in the chat as well. I hope you are doing very well. No de Klerk. Very strange, says Ollie. I can understand why they've done it, though. They do need to play an attacking style of rugby, and sometimes de Klerk, his kicking does kick in a little bit more than they would like. That's why he's coming off the bench. That was when we kind of see him a little bit more effective in the last matchup. But South Africa, they've got a couple big returns off the bench. Bongi Umbanambi back into the side. He did get injured in the training for the preparation for the All Blacks matches. Back at number 16, Oxnashare at number 17, and then Vincent Koch is there at number 18. So he is also added back into the side. Franco Moster at 19, rather than being the starting open side flanker, does find himself as a very useful utility back, either to come on as a lock or maybe someone in that loose forward trio, although they already have two more individuals for that loose forward trio, and Dwayne Vermeulen at number 20 and Juarez Smith at number 21. Faf de Klerk there at 22, and Kurtley Arendse returns from his suspension. Now, the big thing is for South Africa, anytime they've gone with the 6-2 split throughout this competition, with the exception of last week, it's cost them quite dearly because they've ended up with a back injury early on in the contest, and then they've had to use that one solo back that they've got. So that is the last thing they want in this contest, or else they could end up finding themselves getting tired later on in the game. For Argentina, it is going to be Agustin Crevi, Michael Vivas, and Joel Scalavi there at number 18. Guido Petti and Robbie Rubiolo, I believe it is. He is on debut for this contest, so a massive opportunity for him here. Thomas Kubeli, I felt he was very strong off the bench when he came off it in the last matchup. Ure Paleta there at number 22, and Batista Del Gui will be the last man for Argentina in their 23. So those are the starting lineups and the reserves for both of these sides. Once again, we have a quick look through at the way that the table sits. You would have heard the number 39 mentioned many times over the last few hours throughout the URC games, throughout pretty much straight from the final whistle of the All Blacks versus Australia contest. That is how many extra points the South Africans need to put over the Pumas. Currently interviewing Michael Checker. Now, Argentina, they're a tough side, and they've come a long way in the last couple of years. But the big thing for me is that South Africa need to start this game quick, but they can not risk being too aggressive. As soon as you're too aggressive up against the Argentines, you open up the door for Argentina to find a counter-attacking opportunity. They also love kicks in behind, which is something we may see throughout this matchup as well. But their points differential, it's not actually too bad for Argentina. When you consider that they lost against the All Blacks by 50 points, to still have a better points differential than Australia is actually pretty impressive overall, I would say, for the Argentinians. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what's your score prediction for this game? Who do you think will be able to go on and get themselves the victory in this exciting, intriguing battle? I mentioned Juan Martin Gonzalez as a try-scoring machine, a normal try-scoring machine. Makazole Mapimpi, we didn't really get to see him in the last game. 2 meters carried from 2 carries. That is about as little as I have seen of Makazole Mapimpi out there on the park. And I believe that this game is going to be completely different. He'll be searching for the ball, getting a little bit further infield. Canan Moody, a little bit in the same boat. Didn't get a huge amount of the possession. Currently, the commentators are just actually in front of the Springboks, practicing that rolling maul, perhaps. I do see the big man, Peter Steph-Toy, back in that South African starting lineup. It's great to see him there alongside Jasper Wiese and Sia Khaleesi in this loose forward trio. But we did just see some very good performances from the Stormers and some individual Bulls players. With that South Africa 15 just around the corner, perhaps we do get to see them maybe make their way into the side that goes up against Munster or the Bristol Bears. We have got come on the box. Says Rugby Itch a bit earlier on. He will certainly be hoping that they get themselves the win in this one. And I guess that is the big question. Can they manage to get themselves the win, the bonus point, and a 39 points differential up against a tough Argentine side. Now, Argentina's form, it's been a bit up and down. Argentina and South Africa, they have had 15 matches. They have won 1, they have lost 14, and they have drawn none. Now, a draw doesn't really benefit South Africa. It would heavily benefit Argentina, though, as that would mean that they are certain to go above the Australians on the Rugby Championship table. But the fact that the odds are against them, it reminds me of that first match when we did get to see them go head-to-head up against the New Zealanders, because we did get to see a passionate Argentine side. The weather is nice, so that benefits them, because in rainy conditions, seems like Argentina struggled just a little bit more. Evan Etzebeth, though, he's towering over his teammates. He's going to be a beast out there on the field, and he will be looking to make a huge amount of tackles, huge amount of physicality out there. And 100 people win well. There's Ollie. Yeah, I should mention, it is in the middle of the night that this game has taken place here in New Zealand. We are currently sitting at 3:45 a.m. or roughly around that time. Oh, in fact, sorry. Yeah, 3:45. We've actually just had daylight saving, so that is why I had to kind of do a double check, make sure I did have the right time there. But yeah, it's weird that we've changed time at this point in time, just because normally it's on a weekend with not so much rugby, and this is a proper Premier League football last day vibes, says James Cody. And the thing is, everything is on the line for these guys. Both South Africa and Argentina are going to go out there, give it their absolute best, 110%, because after this game, you've got nothing else. It's either a Rugby Championship title for the Springboks, or they will be extremely disappointed to miss out on a chance to be able to claim the trophy in 2022. Did you Google it, says JP? I didn't actually get a chance straight away from that last live stream. I had to set up this one, get the scoreboard in position, and also get those little lineup animations up. So that is pretty much what all of my time went to. I didn't even get a chance to go out and refill my drink bottle. So hopefully the amount that I've got in there does last the whole match, I guess you could say. Franz Steyn, the veteran. He is 35 years of age. He's actually got 11 years on top of Santiago Carreras, his opposite number. Carreras, like I mentioned last week, ending up with that yellow card. Same for Gonzalo Bertrano. Argentina's discipline is important in this game, but so is the Springboks. We did see an absolutely monumental amount of penalties against both sides. I believe combined, they did give away 33 penalties in the last match that they played in Argentina. 200 people, says Ollie Daly. And there it does seem like it's going up that way. I'm not too sure how many people to expect for this one, to be honest, because it is a middle of the night game in New Zealand. A lot of people from New Zealand and Australia more than likely won't be watching this game. They've got New Zealand, have got a nice lead there. We'll wake up in the morning and see how this one goes. And also go get a quick refill. We all forgive you. No, it's not too bad. Overall, I've still got, that should last me throughout the match. I don't think my voice will disappear that quickly. Famous last words, touch wood. Of course, they are just showing the Argentinian scrums. They were dangerous last week up against South Africa. They had a massive forward pack, putting Marks, Kitsoff, and Franz Malherba under pressure. It's a game going to be live streamed or just commentary. It is just the commentary on our channel. But I do know of a few options depending on what country you're in. You can actually watch this game theoretically for free if you have a VPN and you can set it to Australia. You can get yourself a Stansport free trial, and then you will be able to watch that game completely through for free for the Rugby Championship. So I would highly recommend doing that option. If you haven't got a VPN, the best bet is the link in the description and actually in the pinned comment, because that one will get you 3 extra months. Should be plenty of time to watch the Rugby Championship and also the November Internationals. Can South Africa still win the comp? Says Fluffy. They can, but they need to win this game by a monumental amount. Now, this isn't a number that we haven't seen Argentina lose by in the Rugby Championship so far this year. New Zealand, they have got themselves the points differential of plus 67. So for South Africa, a lot of people have been saying South Africa need to win this game by 39. The reality is they need to win it by 40, because when you look through at the different deciding factors, I'm actually going to read them off here for you guys. There are quite a few that do determine who actually wins the Rugby Championship if we are completely at a draw. So the first of which, it is going to be, one moment, of course, this is the time that the phone goes just a little bit slow. I should mention only 19 minutes away from this contest getting underway. South Africa at home, they have won 14. They have scored 550 points. So they actually average around that 40, 35-point margin per game. But the problem will be they have to stop Argentina from scoring those points on the board also to be able to have a good, effective chance as a channel going to show coverage of the actual game. Unfortunately, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets us taken straight off YouTube, and we lose our job for 3 months. So sadly, we can't show anything, sorry. But there will be highlights on YouTube straight afterwards from the Super Rugby YouTube channel. So the tiebreakers straight away are the wins. Then the next one is head-to-head wins. So that means whoever was able to get themselves more wins between the two sides actually would be the tiebreaker. So the thing is, New Zealand and South Africa, they went 1-1. South Africa won their game by, it was 16, and New Zealand won their game by 12. So I wonder whether or not, because of the points differential between their two sides, whether that would be the one that South Africa need to be able to secure the deal. If not, points difference will be exactly the same. Head-to-head with the points difference is the next one down. So it's kind of the same thing. Most tries scored. That is one that's a lot further down, that the All Blacks are leading by quite some margin. And every time you hear licensing drink, says JP, yeah, we do say it probably about 50 times a live stream, somewhere around there. And evening, Hamish, well done on the win versus, or the win this morning, settling in for the Box versus Argentina game, says Joss Pike. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome contest in South Africa. It looks like it's already almost packed out, and we are still 20 minutes away from the kick of the Springboks warming up in the background. And very dangerous indeed. In the training, they are one of those sides you cannot count out for an 80-minute contest. Even when they look like they are starting a little bit slower, they can easily up that tempo in just an instant, and it can get you in quite a bit of trouble. One moment, we're going to go like this. We're going to go like this. Quite cold here in New Zealand at the moment. Unfortunately, we have got BKR Sport in the chat. That is me saying it was cold here. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, we have BKR Sport in the chat before that gets twisted. And also, morning, says D7. Hope you are doing very well, mate. We are on to our 5th live stream of the night or something along those lines. Maybe 4th, actually. No, this is 5th. Actually, now that I think about it, we did the post-match review. So this game is going to be absolutely awesome to see who is able to get the win. The thing is, the most likely at the moment for me is Springboks win by 20. Somewhere around there. 39 is a massive ask, but they've got a decent chance being able to get some points early on. And started watching cricket this summer, T20, very enjoyable, says James. And we have actually covered a bit of cricket on the channel in the past. We are hoping to pick up on the England versus Pakistan series throughout the midweek games. And also, buenos dias to you, Hamish. Just opened my eyes. Daylight saving, says Spider-Meek. Exactly right. So rather than this game taking place at theoretically 4:05 a.m. New Zealand time, it is still on paper 4:05, but really feels like a 3:05 fixture. And also, I just don't see the Box winning by 40. I think I'll be the same, other than the fact that they were beaten by the All Blacks by 50, Argentina. Although that was on a rainy day, and you'd have to say that maybe that had a little bit of an impact in the way that the conditions did go. The All Blacks really did play a lot better in the rain. They are just showing the gates and how many people are bulldozing their way through to get in to watch this historic Rugby Championship match. If South Africa win it by 40, that is one of the biggest, I guess you could say, one of the biggest last round games that we have seen of a Rugby Championship. And also, we have got there, if Michael Hooper doesn't score in this game, I'm sending you a copyright strike. Well, that's unfortunate because, as you all know, or I assume you know, Michael Hooper not even in the Wallabies squad at this stage, let alone the Springbok or the Pumas one. So poor Michael currently on leave. We have got there, when's it start? Says the girl YouTube. So currently, we are sitting about 15 minutes away from kickoff. So not too far now till we get to the match, I should say. And Box will definitely win by 39 points, says Geraldo. So the last thing that the Box can do, it's really got to be, their discipline's got to be 100% accurate. If they get it wrong, then we're going to see a lot of the South Africans just really getting punished. 3 points each time, Argentina. They will not mind one bit just ticking over a couple points here and there, because that helps increase their chances of getting the losing bonus point or even a possible win on South African soil for the second time in the 16 fixtures to win the championship. How much South Africa win by, says Spider-Meek. So they do need to win it by 39 points. Theoretically, though, 40 would make it a lot safer when it comes to that points differential and everything along those lines. And Six Nations tickets for Ireland come in today in South Africa by 27, says James. And also we have got there you given a bottle of brandy for knowing, or there you given a bottle of brandy for knowing the score, says Barry. Is that like an actual thing going on? It's like a promotion that you get a bottle of brandy if you get it right. I mean, I'll have a crack at it. I don't think I'll get any brandy, though. I'd say I'm going to go South Africa win it by 20. That's my prediction. See whether or not it is somewhere near correct. Maybe an upset, says the Gear YouTube. That's the other side of things. With Argentina, they've got nothing to lose in this match. South Africa need absolutely everything to go their way to make sure that they get off to the great start that they need to chase down the 40 points differential that they find themselves in over the All Blacks. So Argentina, they'll take the 3-pointers. They won't mind it one bit. If they get it slightly wrong, then it could certainly cost them, because I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. Both sides going all out, counter-attacking from Argentina, but more of the territory game. It's quite unfortunate for the Boks. They can't really go for the try line, or they have to go for the try line, can't really afford to take any kicks, which they love doing, says Sebastian. And that's why, looking through at all of the deciding factors for how they split the game, it's all down to the factor of, if they get down to that fifth selection, it's based on tries scored. And we certainly know that the All Blacks have had more than South Africa throughout this year. I think Japan will win this game. They played the Black Ferns earlier on, so you're not too far off there, although they did lose by about 80 points. So not quite the performance that they would have been after in that contest. But I'm just going to quickly look through at a few other stats for the Rugby Championship, because I know that Australia are the most penalised side out of any side in the competition. South Africa actually the least penalised side, sitting on only the 45 penalties conceded in their 5 games, which is incredibly impressive, because when you add that up and you average it out, that is actually only 9 penalties per game in a competition that has easily had probably 25 penalties per game given. And Brandy won't fit in a bottle. She's working tonight anyway, says Fluffy, and it's quite unfortunate. I know I read that one. And also 39 points is a big ask. Argentina is a tough nut to crack. They gave the ABs a headache, says Spider-Meek. And I think they're a good game, says the Gear YouTube. And it is not too far from getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be epic. Looking through at some of the stats, Makazole Mapimpi, he let me down last week because I had it written on my little sheet. I was looking through at all of the players that he could overtake for running meters. He didn't overtake any of them because he only ran 2 meters throughout that contest. But Juan Martin Gonzalez, he knows how to get to the try line 3 in a row, or 3 throughout his last few fixtures. Juan Martin Gonzalez also up there the moment. Damien Dialende, he is on 2 tries. Not too bad for the South Africans. And Pablo Matera, he's actually had the most carries out of any player in this Rugby Championship, sitting on 58. Now, he's played 1 less game than the fellas below him in the likes of Savia, Talkiaho, Valentini, Vesa. He is also a dangerous threat. He was coming off the bench a couple games ago. Now he's got himself booked pretty much securely as that number 8. Just for now, looking at clean breaks, Makazole Mapimpi at the top of the list. He has got 7. Lucanio Arm, he was on 6. Sadly, with that injury, though, did cost him big time that he hasn't been able to be as effective as he is sitting on the sideline, not being able to play. And also, what did you think about the ABs last night? They played a lot better, but I think it was also the fact that Argentina played so much worse that made the All Blacks really be able to pick where the game was going. Like South Africa, when they did play up against the Australians, they pushed them in that second game. And South Africa able to get the victory. In the first game, it was close, and it was Australia who were able to get the victory for that one. But the big thing is, Australia dropping the ball 15 times was just not good enough, unfortunately. Like, you look at an under-9s game, and they don't drop the ball 15 times. There was not a lot of wet weather around either. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the pressure or anything along those lines. It just didn't go the Wallabies' way at all in that matchup. But the most lineouts won was Ludiacha at the moment with 19. Also 17 there. Matthias, Alemano, Moster, and Etzebeth all slotting in there on that regard. But now currently we are only about 10 minutes away from this match getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. And what do you think about the ABs? I know I read the one in time for the Anthems, Hamish. It is getting relatively close. And come on the box. Let's get that bonus point, says Rugby Itch. In my opinion, Australia don't play very well away from home. Like bad, says James Cody. Although there is bad, and then there's playing like they did at Eden Park. I don't know what it was, because we thought that they'd go out absolutely firing after what happened last week, being so close, having it just on the fingertips, and then having it all disappear. We thought they'd go out there and they would just absolutely carve up and try and put everything on the line. And they did anything but that. Max temperature at the moment at the ground, it could be 24 degrees. And also we have got their two boys on the line. Says the girl YouTube. So New Zealand, they have that points differential of plus 67, like I mentioned. And the Argentines, they do want to try and catch up. Position on the competition table shall be determined by competition points as follows. If two or more teams are equal on the log points, such as position, shall be determined by the team with the most wins in the series. So they would both be sitting more than likely on 4. If both teams are tied with equal wins, the position will be determined by the team with the most wins against the other teams, tied on the same points. That's South Africa 1 win, New Zealand 1 win. So it's all going to come down right down the line, and it could be the tries scored. And that would be not ideal for the South Africans. And Vamos Pumas, says Nathan there, and hi all from Baleto, are having a braai. So the next one down, it would be down to points differential. If they're identical in that regard, then they do look through at the differential. So it would actually be that South Africa need to win with a bonus point and by a margin of 39 to be crowned champions, because the fifth one down is actually going to be that South Africa in their head-to-head with New Zealand have got a +4 difference. So they just need 39 points more than the Pumas, and they will be successful. But of course, they'll be aiming a little bit higher than just that. Thoughts on Geordie at second 5 after yesterday? I thought he was pretty strong. He has been a player that I've tried to put at second 5 for quite some time for myself, but they never select it, unfortunately. So who knows, maybe it could be an option in the future for them. But looking through at the South African side for one last time before they make their way out onto the park, it will be Stephen Kitsoff, Malcolm Marx, and Franz Marharba as the front row. Very dangerous. We normally see 2 of these members a part of the bomb squad, instead getting to earn that spot on the starting lineup after a couple successful performances, now find themselves in the front row replacements. Looking through at the locks, it will be Eben Etzebeth at number 4 and Ludiacha at number 5. Sia Khaleesi at 6, Peter Steptotoy at number 7, and he is back in the starting lineup replacing Franco Mostert, and then Jasper Visa will be there at number 8. Jaden Hendrickse and Franz stay in the combination. Jaden Hendrickse, he would have still been in primary school the last time, or maybe high school if he was lucky. High school the last time that Franz Stein did play in that number 10 jersey. Damien de Allende and Jesse Creel as the midfield combo. Makazole Mapimpi, Cannon Moody, and Willie LaRue going to be there in the back 3. Now looking through at Argentina starting lineup, it will be Nahul Tita Chaparro, Julian Montoya, and Eduardo Bello as the props. Then it will be Matthias Alemano and Thomas Lavanini as the locks. Juan Matan Gonzalez already scoring 3 tries throughout this Rugby Championship. Would love to get himself another right now. Marcos Kremer at 7 and Pablo Matera, the recent Crusaders champion, at number 8. Gonzalo Berrano and Santiago Carreras will be slotting in at 9 and 10. Now, last week, both of those individuals, they received a gift from the referee, but it's not the kind of gift that you want to receive. They got one of these, a yellow card, and that is not what they need in this game. The discipline needs to be on check for the Pumas, definitely inside of their own half. But the centres will be Geronimo De La Fuente and Matthías Moroni at number 13. Last week, it was Matthias Orlando. This time, Moroni does get the crack. Juan Emoth added into the starting lineup rather than Lucio Cinti. Emiliano Boffelli over on the other wing. He will have kicking responsibilities in this contest. And Juan Cruz Malia there at number 15. Now looking through at the benches, they are going to be as follows: Bongi Ombanambi, Oxnashe, and Vincent Cocktier as the front row replacement. Franco Mostert and Dwayne Vermeulen going to be there. And then also one extra forward, it is Quaka Smith going back to the 6-2 split. Then Faf de Klerk there at number 22. Kurtley Aronsa at number 23 coming back from his red card suspension. Then Argentina, they've got Agustin Crevi, also Mako Vivas, and Joel Scalevi as the front row. Guido Pitti, and then the debut for it will be Rubiolo, and then Thomas Kubeli played very well off the bench in the last matchup. Ura Paletta, and then it is going to be Batista Del Gui. I do see that the Warriors once again making their way out onto the field for South Africa with some fireworks as well. They are fired up beyond belief for this contest. Both of these sides want to be able to get themselves an exciting victory. And Boks going to win 35 points to Argentina's 20, so that would make them finish second in the Rugby Championship. Looking smart today, Kiwi, says Ria. Thank you very much. We did wear the suit. It is about as big of a match as we're going to see for the Rugby Championship now. Trophy doesn't like moving it. Quite happy where it is, says Russell Turner. That's the other thing. I mentioned it on my last live stream. If the All Blacks lost to Australia, does that mean they were then going to try and fast ship that one over to Argentina with the trophy so that they could end up possibly having the trophy there just in case South Africa won their game? It's a weird one. Maybe they've got a duplicate trophy over in South Africa currently. Just in case, where are you watching this? Says Powerhouse Rugby. I am watching it on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. I hope the refs should let the game flow, not interfere too much. This Bonami can also get your guitar ready for the Afrikaan national anthem, says Card Crazy. It seems like that's going to become a tradition, doesn't it? Similar to the suit. Anytime there is a South African national anthem, I think I'm going to have to try and play along on the guitar as well. And South Africa forwards better, but Argentina backs are good, says the Gur YouTube. And they certainly enjoy a nice bit of kicking in behind for Argentina, which is something they might end up more than likely doing a lot of this match. And don't sing, please. Nah, don't worry. I don't sing. I don't want to deafen your eardrums. I love this channel. Awesomeness, go the Boks, says Dawi there. Now, currently, they are just talking through the implications. 39 points. That is what splits South Africa from the win of the Rugby Championship. Although, here's the kicker. They need 39 points more than Argentina. And can't watch it in Ireland, says Powerhouse Rugby. Is it on Sky Sport UK, Powerhouse Rugby? Do let me know. Also, anyone who does want to be able to watch this game, if you've got a credit card you can use, I do recommend getting a Stan Sport free trial, which is in Australia. You can cancel before the 7 days is over, and you won't be charged any of the money. They've got a money-back guarantee for the 7 days. If you need a VPN, we have got that pinned comment that you can check out. It gives you 3 extra months free on top of a 2-year plan. But currently, we have got the Argentine national anthem. Now, I don't know my Argentine national anthem, unfortunately, but these two sides, they will certainly be fired up, like I mentioned, and I cannot wait. So what we will do quickly, while we have got the Argentine national anthem, we will go like this. Like I mentioned, it's not very warm here in New Zealand currently, the middle of the night, 4:03 a.m., but we were certainly not going to be missing this game. What bets do we have? Or do you have for Love and Ending to get a red, says James Cody. It was well behaved last week. I was impressed. I hope he's well behaved this week too, though, because he can give away a lot of cards. Same with Marcos Crema. And there's a live stream still up on YouTube. I don't know if it will last, says Fluffy. And also well done to the All Blacks on beating Australia a bit of a thrashing. And it's on Sky Sports here in Ireland, says James Cody. There's on Aussie Rest. Good luck to both, says Nathan. There is actually, the more I hear the Argentine national anthem, the more I realize how long the build-up is. Aussie Refs, says Randolph there. So he won't be too happy with the referees even before the contest has started due to the country that they are from. And it's going to be an interesting one. I actually mentioned it a bit on a live stream earlier on for the URC. I said the referees that referee the competitions like the URC, the Gallagher Premiership, because they are less well known, they normally don't receive as much stick before a game actually starts. People decide to actually allow them to do the refereeing and then decide whether they like them or not, rather than before seeing anything going, they're from here, so I bet you they're going to be bad, rather than seeing how it does go. And have a cup of tea, bro. Don't actually drink tea. I have got water, though, and go Bok. Oh, South African national anthem. You guys always ask for it. We're going to try it again. Hopefully, we do get it right. Here we go. Oh, no pressure. Here we go. There we go. That's the only part of it I know. And also we've got the As the Match playing here. Sadly not. Due to licensing, YouTube would kick our bottoms if we tried to show any match footage and also probably sue us, which is not ideal. We don't have much money. It's a bit of a shame, really, but we have a guitar, and that's all that matters. And also auto-tune, says Randolph. Yeah, it's really out of tune, that guitar at the moment, unfortunately. Just doesn't quite sound the best that it could. It's quite annoying. My nose did not run throughout any of the other matches. But now, because it's the big one, I feel like my nose is nervous. So it's like, right, what's the first thing we're going to do? We're going to sweat. And then my nose sweating, I guess, is just it running. Don't know. And thank you. I get goosies. And there says Dawi. I normally play it too quick. I actually played it in time with them on the coverage. And it was actually a lot slower. Like I probably play it about double as quick. Franz Stein has tears in his eyes. For this one, it sounds like Baba Black Sheep. And also we got the thumbs up from Rolly, but the South African national anthem has been sung, ladies and gentlemen. This game in South Africa just about to get underway. It's at Johnson Kings Park. It's all on the line. The Rugby Championship. I can't think of a better way of spending a 4:05 a.m. on a Sunday morning than watching a game of Bok Rugby up against the Pumas. This is going to be entertainment. It's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be a bit of a methodical chess match at times. Marcos Crevi, that's not his name. Augustin Crevi fired up there. I was combining a few of them. Is Lavanini the most rare card to play? He is. He enjoys getting the cards. He collects them like they're Pokemon cards, but he is now hopefully going to behave himself in this contest, at least for the first half. We want to see a free flow on first. But Jean de Villiers, the sideline commentator for this game, he'll be a little bit nervous. He wants to see the Springboks take it home. Who you going for, says the girl YouTube. At the end of the day, the better side is the side that deserves the win. And I don't mind who it is, as long as we see some good rugby played. And one side, if they play well, they will deserve it. But Franz Stein looks like he's going to be kicking off this one here for the Springboks. Time for talking is almost done for these players. They have been fired up all throughout the week. Everyone's had their eyes locked on the prize. Go, Bok, you can do this. And any idea why Andre never replaced Creel? The only reason I can think of is because Andre Esterhazen, he prefers playing 12. He doesn't really play too much of outside centre throughout the Gallagher Premiership. And hats off to you for the passion. It's game time, says Dowie. And Creel's been meh. He has at times been meh, but I think they've decided to keep him there just so that they do have a little bit of stability in the midfield and not two inside centres. But Franz Stein, boy, he's given that a bit for the drop kick to get us underway in the last match of the Rugby Championship. This makes me kind of sad because I just realised after this game we've got no more international rugby for a little while between the sides. Gonzalo Burrano kicks the box kick. He's got plenty of distance, of course, in South Africa. You've got that little bit of extra distance normally if you're playing at altitude, although this game being played at Kings Park, like I mentioned, in Durban, so not a huge amount of effect on the ball here. Franz Stein now going for a bit of a 50-22 attempt. It's gone straight down to Argentina, who now kick the ball way downfield and a great kick. And now Willie LaRue considers going quickly, won't be able to do so. And you'd have to say Argentina have won that territory battle off the get-go. And where's the game being played? It is at Kings Johnson Park in Durban, South Africa. And can't watch the stream, Hamish. I'm working today. I hope South Africa wins, says username. I hope you do have a good day at work. Also, ladies and gentlemen, it's around tea time in South Africa. How many of you have got the braai fired up at the moment? I know that it was mentioned earlier on that there would be plenty of meat being fried or barbecued, I guess I should say. Now, Malcolm Marks at the back of the rolling maul for the Springboks, one of their key weapons of this contest. I would think that they will go back to time and time again. They've got the advantage. Damon Murphy gives it in the favour of the box. Now Damien Dearlin, a bit of a loose ball cleaned up by Franz Stein. Still playing the advantage, runs it straight at Pablo Matera, and they will be going back now for the initial penalty in favour of the Springboks. Jaden Hendrickson considers taking it maybe quickly, but instead now Franz Stein gets plenty of distance on his kicks. Let's take it home, says DJ and Dubs. And I'd like to see a Hulk transformation from Eben, says Doggo. And also we have got there, Creel isn't meh, he's effing useless. It'll be the reason that Mapimpi doesn't get any ball today. Argentina have had, only had to defend up to Creel. Never passes. It's kicked back downfield. Franz Stein initially missing touch. It's charged down. Oh, I think the player's knocked out though. I think he's eaten that one straight in the chops and he is now possibly sleeping. Is he all right? What happens here? It either smacks him in the hands or the face. I know what one he'd prefer. Yeah, oh my God, that nose is going to be broken. He's going to need a plastic surgeon. My nose hurts. After that one, me complaining about my nose running earlier on doesn't seem so bad. That man's just had his nose almost taken off his face. Going to be looking like Voldemort in a short moment. Kick downfield by Frans Steyn. 45 metres out from the line, and Argentina once again have got another opportunity on the attack. Thomas Lavanini tries to break through. That's a missed tackle from Jesse Krill. Oh, it's a little bit too far out in front of Argentina, though, and Santiago Carreras unable to hold it. And ouch, says Nathan. And also we get their pork rashers and chicken kebabs on the braai and a lion, says Dowie there. Rush defence from Jaden Hendrickson. Springboks need to score. Time is not their friend, says CP. Although, of course, you still want to have that little bit of a build-up, working out how the conditions are playing. Little mistakes like not finding touch, though, that we just saw from Frans Steyn, something that could completely turn the game around for the Springboks. They need to make sure that they're getting everything correct. Why is there a pull behind the post? It's a good question, but I'm sure for the people who are in it, they are very happy. As it is currently, I believe the high is going to be 23 degrees at that ground. And no, there's no time for build-up, says Carl. And also my old hometown, says Rolly. Hello, all hope the Boks are going to win, says Herzog. So they do need to win it by 39 points to claim the Rugby Championship. Argentina will not be an easy beat, though. They pretty much have to concentrate on beating Argentina first here. Jaden Hendrickson asking for a penalty, of course, knows everything there is to know about the front row, asking the ref for a penalty for that one. Jasper Wiese, has he got him bigger since the last game? He looks like he's bulked up. And then enjoying a braai or two. Now offload from Ludiacha. Better step the toy up to the halfway, finds the offload up to Ebenetzebev. South Africa trying to keep this ball alive, but Thomas Lavanini did brilliantly to stop that one. Damon Murphy tells South Africa to use it. They go short side. Damian Dialende tries to go through. He's got 2 tries already in the competition. Gets back up to his feet and goes again. Penalty to Argentina. They say he was held. And now Argentina will be able to clear their lines. It looks like it's going to be, or it's not going to rain too soon here. Or, sorry, it looks like it's going to NG to rain soon here, says Dowie. And also, it is 33 degrees in the Northern Cape. So, yeah, just a bit warm. Currently here in New Zealand, we are 8 degrees. Wouldn't be too bad seeing the sun today, hopefully. A good kick downfield by Santiago Carreras does find touch. But Damian Dialende was a great line break initially. Gonzalo Berrano got him down. He was held. Then he got back up. Okay, the commentator from South Africa saying it's a technical penalty. That should have been a penalty. But if it was him in charge, he probably wouldn't have given it, I think is what the gist of that one was. Nicely taken. And that's going to be now Argentina trying to go for the rolling maul against the Boks. They're extremely close to the touchline, though. Gonzalo Berrano manages to keep it in. Santiago Carreras with the up and under. And it looks like Juan Cruz Malea doing beautifully. Underneath it, now offload from Matthías Moroni. It's open on the outside. Quick step and feet. Juan him off. Ball up and great defense from Jaden Hendrickson. Had to be made, but 5 meters out from the line. Juan Cruz Malea forced him to touch the balls for the kids in the Sharks Academy, I believe. They removed the bottom tiers, says Janine. I'm close to Durban. I think Kobus should be laying a radar at or near the top. He was quick and can read the game well, says Barry. Yeah, my Springbok squad prediction for this game, I actually did have Kobus Reinach off the bench. Decided that it would be a decent option just to have that extra bit of attacking, but this was close. Great cover defense from Jaden Hendrickson. Now Sia Khaleesi has to have a bit of a run forward there. 15 meters out from their own line here for the Boks, and they are 6 minutes into this contest. That one's gone high. It's going to be close to the touchline. Nicely, no, not nicely taken, but manages to bounce back in favor of the Argentines. Malcolm Marks gets the clean turnover for the Springboks. The man is lethal at any chance at a smother of the ball. Now Willie LaRue tries to pierce the line. Oh, he's dropped it. And now it's going to be the advantage to Argentina. I mention it every time. Willie LaRue's one of those players who will either give you the absolute, brilliantest performance you've ever seen, or he'll have one of the most shocking games out there in Bouncy Castle. There is also a Bouncy Castle and there, and also rain soon, might be, or get a bit wet on the field. Durban has the highest humidity usually. So here's Randolph there. So a couple little mistakes. One, Moffy knocked it backwards, but Juan Cruz Malea Oh, in fact, sorry, it was actually Juan Martin Gonzalez who cleaned that up. But the tackle on Willie LaRue, not great ball security, letting it go a bit too easy. But now it will be the scrum feed from where the ball was kicked from. Looks like already there is going to be a bit of tape going on the head of an Argentine player. Kick it, says the girl YouTube. And also we have there close to Durban. Oh, who is this Argentine player who is currently down? I want to say it's the guy who got his face broken, but I don't think it is. I think it is someone else with a cut around the forehead. It's actually Juan Martin Gonzalez, is it? No. It's going to be actually Alemano. So he's getting a lot of medical attention here just for now. Juan Emoff decides it might as well be the opportunity to go over to the team, work out what the tactic is for the scrum if they do get it right. In fact, no, it's Eduardo Bello. I listened to the South African commentator. I regret doing so because he told me the wrong player. Eduardo Bello there at number 3 for this match. Marks is a machine. The tough guy even playing. He certainly is number 4 for this contest. What happens to Eduardo Bello here? He gets the clean out. Oh, yeah, he gets that glancing elbow of Malcolm Marks. Nothing cynical in it. It's just the way that it worked out. And he did get cut open on the forehead, Marks, with some razor elbows. Be a dangerous mixed martial artist, I think, Malcolm Marks. He'd be impossible to take down because his hip positioning, anytime he's in the breakdown, is always so low. Of course, you normally need that little bit of leverage when trying to take someone down in mixed martial arts. But this isn't mixed martial arts, of course. It might get a bit scrappy later on if the players are feeling the pressure out there on the park. But for now, the scrum feed goes the way of South Africa. And Bouncy Castle is Brandy's stage name, says Fluffy. Now, Jaden Hendrickson about to feed this ball in for the Springboks. Now, these two sides relatively even at scrum time. Oh, it's gone down there, though. And that is going to be an advantage in favour of the Springboks. Kitsoff getting a good, nice little bit of work in the breakdown or in the scrum. That's forward from Frans Steyn. I believe it's going to be play on, though. But Cannon Moody does end up with a foot in touch. And they will be going right back for the initial penalty in favour of the Springboks. There's also an indoor pool next door in the complex opposite Manila Stadium. And TikTok, says Carl. And sounds bad but funny. Got his face broken, says Dolly. Yeah. It's one of those ones when you see the replay, it just makes you so happy you're not the player who got smacked in the face because you know how much they pump the balls up. I believe they're about, I want to say, maybe like 10 PSI, which I know probably doesn't mean a lot to some people, but that means like you can't squish it. It's hard as a rock and straight onto your nose when you're halfway looking upwards to do the charge down. It's probably very lucky. Like that can be lethal if it goes wrong for him. Luckily, he is all right, though. I think he's even continuing the match. His nose is just over here. No, it's not. He's all right. He's not doing too badly. Frans Steyn about to go for the kick for touch here. Time is back on. 8 minutes 20 through this contest. And all good way to start the game 0-0 and all good running out, says the girl YouTube. Although the thing is, the All Blacks versus Australia, their game was 0-0 after 20 minutes. So theoretically, if South Africa score 2 tries in the first 20 minutes, they are on par to be able to defeat the Argentines and also get that bonus point and the differential down. I said those words and they didn't really work. I think I'm too excited for this game. But on the 22, Malcolm Marks about to throw the ball in for the Springboks. It's an in long, taken by Ludiacha. And now the rolling maul begins. Now, this is the department of the Springboks, which is always going to be dangerous. Trying to defend it currently for Argentina. They've been told to use it once. It's become an advantage, though. So that is exactly what the Springboks were after. It's stolen by Argentina. They won't be taking the 3, I wouldn't think here. Santiago Carreras kicking that ball away, just trying to use up a bit more time. Clark Smith needs a few charge downs. I think he's experienced a few in his time, Quaka Smith. Frans Steyn looks for touch, does find it. That will be about 6 meters out from the line, and now the rolling maul will begin. Now, this is the part of the game that I mentioned that the Springboks would use repeatedly. If they do end up giving away penalties back to back here for Argentina just out from their goal line. They're going to end up with a man in the bin. They're going to end up with a penalty try against them, and that is something they cannot afford to do. Going to the front there. It's just going to be a set play. Goes to Eben Etzebeth. Now looking to try and get it rolling. The Pumas, though, defending, but they weren't able to stop him. Was Eben Etzebeth over, or did he put the ball down? He's pretty happy with it, I think, Eben Etzebeth. What happens here? The referee is not too sure on the far side. Okay, he wants to check the transfer. He is an Irish referee. He wants to check it between one of the individuals and Eben Etzebeth. And which channel? I believe it will be on about 201 on DSTV, something along those lines. I think this is this is Willie and Franstein's last game, says Barry there. Okay, they want to check the Maul transfer. Okay, a lady in the crowd was just yelling at the ref, telling him it's a try. So I don't know whether they'll take just her word for it, or they might consider going upstairs. Right, they're checking it. So Eben Etzebeth had that one. And then from there, he ends up without the ball for a second, Eben Etzebeth. He no longer had it. And then he takes it back. Oh, did he ever release it, though? That's the thing. If he ever released the ball back to Sia Khaleesi, this is a big moment in the game, because Eben Etzebeth was in front of Sia Khaleesi. He gives it back to Khaleesi, but he never lets it go. So you have to wonder whether or not it still counts as the same rolling maul for Eben Etzebeth, or whether Khaleesi had it. Because at this stage, I don't believe Eben Etzebeth still has the ball. They can't actually see it there. See, Khaleesi's got it. So then Eben takes it back. I believe that's going to be counted as a forward pass there. 6 green in possession for Sia Khaleesi. And then from there, Eben Etzebeth takes it back, scores the try. It's going to be a no try and a penalty to Argentina. Of course, the crowd, they aren't going to be too happy with that one. Once again, they're not happy, the crowd, either, for that decision. Unfortunately, it is the right one. It was transferred back to Khaleesi, then Eben taking it back. Unfortunately, at the time that he gave it back to Khaleesi, the only way he can get that back is if he disjoints from the ruck, goes back round, from the maul, and then joins from the back and receives it back to then score. And also, and no try, says Derek. And definitely a try, says Spider-Meek. And and also transfer was forward. And what, says Spider-Meek. So because he gave the ball into Sia Khaleesi's hands and then took it back, that is considered as a penalty, as it is a wrong transfer. And also go Pumas, says Novman, but now Julian Montoya about to throw the ball in for the Pumas. Oh, Lavanini does well to be able to claim that one, because he almost ended up dropping it. Now kicked way down the field of play. It's going back for a penalty now in favour of the Springboks, this time for Argentina being offside. Makazole Mapimpi took it down there. And probably our 100 or 1,007th disallowed try this year. Across the whole Rugby Championship, teams have had tries disallowed flat out. And it's quite incredible the amount that we've seen. Whether it's an Australian one that was almost put down, whether it was a different one with a 4-pass involved, or an Argentine rolling more. I think they had one disallowed a bit earlier on in the competition. Correct decision based on the available laws so far. No worries. We'll get another one soon, says Cited. Now, 5 meters out, they find themselves actually in the exact same position. I doubt they will do that set play again, though. They are going to go to the front to Lud Diacha. They do get that one a lot more correct there for the box, but it's been stopped by the Pumas. Lud Diacha. It's interesting tactics there from Lud. He's ended up on top of his teammates. Damien Dialinde taken down nicely. Only 10 meters out from the line now. Kits off. Hits the line hard. He always will. He will be happy with the Stormers' performance earlier on. Oh, clean turnover for Julian Montoya in the breakdown. And now Emiliano Borfelli gives it an almighty heave downfield. No score after 10 minutes. Bok giving the title away. CCP and Moles are not that effective so far, says Cited. Argentina have been joining them very quickly, shutting it down early. I think that's something that they really need to make sure they keep on doing. They cannot let their foot off the gas when it comes to a rolling maul, because or else Springboks, they'll notice that weakness and just keep on going and going and going for it time after time. And also, nice pilfer, says Card Crazy. And come on, Argentina, says Hector. Julian Montoya, one of the best in the game, alongside Malcolm Marks at getting over that breakdown, ripping it away. And both men looking effective throughout the early stages of this matchup. Malcolm Marks throws it into Eben Etzebeth. Sia Khaleesi breaks off the back. Now off to Jasper Visser. Like I mentioned, he's either had a haircut or he's bulked up more since the last time we saw him. Big run forward from Peter Steftatoy. Now Hendrickse goes back to Kitsoff. Tackled low by Marcos Kremer. Finds the offload though off to Jaden Hendrickse. Now Stein gives it off to Ludiacha. Great protection of the ball there for the Springboks, looking to build phase after phase. Frans Stein gets his first real attacking opportunity. Willie LaRue looks to go himself. Moving up to 22 meters out. Now that's going to be the advantage. Matthías Moroni does not agree, but did not quite have that ball out of the breakdown. It's kicked downfield, or almost kicked downfield by Carreras, and now it will be going back for another penalty in favour of the Springboks. Jesse Creel is one-dimensional. That's his only problem, says Barry. And also, Argie's playing like Aussies at the moment, and I reckon New Zealand have won it, says Derek, although, of course, not over till the final whistle. It's going to be offside against Matthías Moroni for that one. Last week it was Matthias Orlando at number 13. They decided to switch it up a little bit. Give Moroni the start rather than coming off the bench. Currently 14 minutes into this contest, and neither side have been able to score a singular point, starting in actually extremely similar fashion to what we saw for the Rugby Championship fixture earlier on in the evening. That was actually between Australia and New Zealand. And like how you say the names, says the girl YouTube. And also Go Block, the championship points is on the line here. Only need 39. Yeah, 39, says Spider Meek. Although the big other side of things is, if Argentina score a try, then that adds to the amount that they are going to need to try and get. So it's all about keeping Argentina with those low-scoring totals. Frans Stein has kicked that one dead. That's a big mistake. Once again, Frans Stein is so overrated. Well, he won't be helping his stocks at all with that kick because it has gone dead. Tried to kick it right into the corner. You'd have to wonder, is 10 meters out that much different than 5? I know it's an extra 5 meters, but unforced errors, we've seen 3 already from the Springboks, 2 that have missed touch from Frans Stein, and the other that we just saw that did end up going too far. So big mistakes being made by South Africa early on, kick downfield. Now that one's out on the full by Argentina, so we go back to the 22. Just to confirm, boys, you are playing within those white lines. No one seems to want to play in them at the moment. Good commentary out the box, says Ernest. And also 39, crikey, and overcooked that one, says Car Crazy. And then also overcooking it for the Pumas. Both sides having a bit of a seesaw here. Right. It's going to be 22 meters out. It's going to be South Africa who have got the opportunity. I'm going to congratulate you now, Hamish. No way South Africa win by 40. So New Zealand have won this, or have this in the bag, says Daryl Roberts. Although I don't think I am the one to be congratulating because I've been impartial throughout the whole competition. So I don't think I deserve to be one of the people who get congratulated for the ABs. There's people who have stuck by them throughout those matches up against Ireland when they lost that first match, up against South Africa when they lost to Argentina. I think that those people are certainly the ones who will take a little bit more of the credit. But Jaden Hendrickse, they could score a try right now for the Boks if they get it right, trying to march this one forward just a little bit. The momentum is there. They have been told to use a Marcos Kremer. Oh, not quite able to. Uh-oh. Was this cynical? Hey, Marcos. Remember how you've seen this 50 times? Have another one. Marcos Kremer goes to the bin. He's disappointed cynically, trying to play at the ball off the back. Are they playing already? Says Pierre. They are indeed 15 and a half minutes through this game. And the winners are New Zealand. Says Derek, and also don't count the chickens before they hatch. Long way yet. Exactly right. When you consider it, they need 39 points. So if South Africa scores 6 converted tries in this game, that's 42. 6 tries. And they are continuously going for rolling more opportunities. They've had a few line breaks. If South Africa don't win it by 40 in this game, they still have definitely the potential of being able to win it by 25 or so. But Argentina, they're making it tough for them at the moment. But Marcos Kremer finds himself in the bin for the next 10 minutes. That's the advantage that South Africa needed. We need to remember, the more times they go for the rolling maul, the more times we're going to see players possibly getting themselves in the bin for Argentina. Currently, South Africa, they have turned down a kickable 12 points. So, the question is, how tactical does it become? At what point do you accept the 3 points? Wouldn't surprise me Argentina wins, says the girl YouTube, and few 6 tries and not one scored yet, says Derek. And there as well, although they might be getting a little bit closer now. This one just having a bit of a huddle, a drinks break, in fact, because of how hot it is over there at the moment, the humidity, they do have to have a short drinks break, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Here we go. Hydration. Gotta love it. And 6 tries, big ask. Says Spider-Meek, it is. But if you consider the fact that South Africa more than likely for some of this game are going to be playing with a man advantage for the 10 minutes coming up here, and then also after that, probably another 10 minutes on top of that for, I mean, Lavanini normally gets a card, doesn't he? So we'll assume there's one there. A bit of nerves. And both teams, says Dowie, and also we have got there Go Bok, says Tasha. And have a beer, says the girl YouTube, and Go the Bok, says Tasha, sorry. There as well, and time is running out, says Carl, although now a rolling more opportunity for them here. That man is trying to climb over seats. It's hard to do, though, because they are really packed in like sardines at this ground. That man has painted his torso in the colours of the South African flag. He wouldn't do that if he wasn't confident they can go far in this comp. Now, Malcolm Marks. Actually, no, he probably would. Yeah, I think he had a beverage in hand, so that's probably, it wouldn't have taken much convincing. Malcolm Marks now. Hold. Okay, Damon Murphy, sorry, now says time is on. Malcolm Marks about to throw it in. And also we've got the, still have my bet up for Argentina to win the Rugby Championship, but I know they can't. I think since they can't, it would have been the bet loss. I guess they have to wait till the end of the championship just to very much so clarify. If Argentina score another 100 points in this game, they win the Rugby Championship. But 100 points is quite tricky to do up against any side, let alone the Springboks, who have one of the strongest defences around. And now Damian Dialende getting the lead drive going. Currently only 5 metres out from the line. Peter Steftoy gets close. Argentina, the discipline has let them down again. It's going to be another advantage against the Pumas. Now 17 minutes into the game. Hendrikse goes back to Francois Steyn. Tries to pierce through the veteran. Now Hendrikse had a little bit of a juggle with the ball on the ground. I believe he was just able to regather. It's gone back onto the side of the Pumas. Double blow of the whistle. Hang on. We are going to the bin again, are we? Well, this has got to be the last warning. No score yet, says DJ. This is the way that I can see the Springboks playing for the full 80. They are going to keep on putting the pressure on Argentina. Damon Murphy already is saying, this is your last warning again, Argentina. And Boban has said hello. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Okay, someone else will go to the bin. This is what the Springboks want. They want to play up against 10 men. Theoretically, that is ideal for them. The more penalties they can get up against Argentina and the more that the Argentine discipline starts to fade, that is when they will be able to do very brilliantly indeed. Right, the time is off. We're sitting at 17 minutes and 11 seconds. So the Pumas, if they get within 7, they manage to get themselves third on the Rugby Championship table. Sadly, no score yet. Says Derek, and also yellow cards. Says Spider-Meek, and any yellow cards. Just the one, and that was for the Argentine number 7, Marcos Crema. Also, Springboks winning by like 26. Says Boban there, and South Africa is going to win with a bones point and win the league. Go, boys, says Megan. And also, time off shoelaces. Says Cider. Yep, we got a shoelace here. Julian Montoya just having a tie up that one. He's all good now. Eduardo Bellows is bleeding out of his forehead as well. So he won't be having a lot of fun going up against Stephen Kitsoff. He's going to put a lot of pressure on him here. Right, the last thing South Africa need here is a pre-engagement. And I feel like that is something they certainly need to watch. Crouch, Damon's yelling at them. That's the referee's name, by the way. That's not some random bloke in the stands named Damon. Hendrikse. Oh, time. Okay, they're back up. Both teams were pre-engaging. I mentioned about it. They need to make sure they get that right. South Africa gets no points before halftime. Maybe win, says the girl YouTube, and also sad Chislin Colby isn't playing. It is a big shame. We've seen 4 matches where the All Blacks have gone up against the Springboks and Chislin Colby has not been there. Same can be said about the other sides of the Rugby Championship. We miss Chislin Colby. Hopefully he makes his way back into the side at some stage. Hendrikse, though, about to feed the ball in. Hendrikse, it's a big push from the box here, starting to march forward. Can they get it all the way over? It's looking likely. Now Jasper Wiese puts it down, and it is a try for the South Africans. Jasper Wiese scores it. It's heading up there, and that is going to be the first try of the contest, and certainly not the last. The Springboks using the play beautifully, being able to get those penalties repeatedly, going against the Argentines. They were cautious going into that scrum, but that is now a Springboks try. Springboks try. That kick has gone over from Franstein as well, and now they do lead 7 points to 0. 7 down, 32 to go for the Springboks here, but it was Jasper Wiese who was able to score it. Doing very nicely there. Picture perfect scrum try. Like this, we will go like that. There we go. And also we have got the 18 minutes to go YouTube. And Hendrikse is better than Faf de Klerk in try time. Who is first at the moment? It is New Zealand. They do have a points differential lead of 32 points. Faf de Klerk is the best scrum half, says Kadaven there. And also make it 7. Says Rians at Franstein, able to convert. Argentina walking back up to the halfway line. 20 minutes gone in this contest. Hendrikse are better than Faf, says Boban there. It still can be done, or can still be done, says Rudolph. Exactly right. They are right in this one currently. You got to remember the yellow card still for another 6 minutes. Oh, yes, for Wiese taking some heavy contact. Tries to get back up to his feet. Great work from Eduardo Bello, but it's not going to be the penalty. It seems like Pablo Matera was asking for a knock on. Franstein kicks it downfield, and it will be finding touch. Argentina now have got themselves the line out. And the All Blacks first, says Boban. So yeah, the All Blacks sitting on 19 points. I will actually show the table before this match got underway. This is how the competition was sitting. New Zealand on the 19 points. So the thing is, South Africa, they need to win by that 39-point margin. But also alongside that, they do need to get themselves the bonus point win for having more than 3 tries than your opposition. That is the different rule that we got for the Rugby Championship. Quite different to most other competitions around the world. But Eduardo Bello, that's not straight from Argentina. And now it is going to be Hendrikse who has the option of either going for the scrum feed, or he will give it off to Malcolm Marx for the line out once again. I think the Boks are feeling that momentum. It's starting to build for them. Now, just going to be the scrum feed for their Boks. We have got their scrums are slowing down the process here. We need to score quickly, says Cited. Although only 5 more converted tries, which sounds like a lot, but when you work on the theory that the Boks are normally a very dangerous side near the end of a match, we saw them score many tries up against the Pumas late. I think they won't really be concerned about the amount of time that they've got on the clock currently. If it's Argentina throwing the game, says Troy, yeah, at the moment, making a lot of mistakes. Why is Arense so quit? Is he afraid? Says Adrian. Why is Arense so quit? As in, like, is he so quiet? He's not actually on the field. That might be why. He's actually coming off the bench in the later stages of the game. Cannon Moody out there on the field currently. Another penalty advantage for the Springboks at scrum time. And now, collapsing. And now Franstein will be able to kick it downfield. South Africa are just showing their class here. They are outclassing Argentina when it comes to the scrums. They're outclassing them when it comes to the breakdown, but they are not outclassing them when it comes to finding touch. Franstein has messed up again with the kicking for touch. What a cracker of a championship. Come on, Boks, watching from Zambia again, says Jaco van den Berg. And also, if Bok wins, I start drinking. I subscribed and liked. You're the GOAT commentator, says Boban. Do appreciate you a lot, mate. And we have got plenty more commentary coming in the future. We are going to be doing our post-match review as a live stream, and that will be starting in about 1 hour and 20 minutes time. Also, alongside that, we have got a game of the Gallagher Premiership tomorrow night we will be covering, taken nicely by Eben Etzebeth. Argentina trying to stop this one from rolling forward. They're being told to use it once. Benefit of a rolling maul, you've got a lot of time. And now they start to march forward. They try and get the penalty. Still going forward. Recycled to the back to Malcolm Marx. Now it will be Hendrikse. Goes back across to Damien Dialende. Franstein makes the mistake. Almost kicked forward. Now it is grubbed forward nicely. I believe that it is actually going to be Juan Martin Gonzalez, was it? No, that's going to be the penalty for playing the man on the ground. Thought it was half-time by now. I'm just tuning in. No thanks to my insomnia, says It was Semisosa, and also Franz is not kicking well. Pressure is too much for the old boy. And also they must have put Jordan Hendrickse or Moroni Steyn on, says Hanno van den Berg. I was a little bit surprised not to see any call-ups available. Definitely with this game in South Africa, like you mentioned, you've got Moroni Steyn, Jordan Hendrickse, maybe Mani Lebok. A few of those other guys who are playing well. Chris Smith even maybe could be a future Bok. In the future, there's another option as well, but I can't quite remember his name at this stage. And by the way, says is the best, so yeah. And there she says it was Shaney. And also France saying Australian Springboks need Lukhanyoam. Unfortunately, though, Lukhanyoami's injured. Andre Pollard also injured for the Boks, but an injury return here. Bongium Banambi makes his way back in. Now the Springboks once again find themselves going for the rolling maul. I think this is exactly what a lot of people would have been expecting. The Springboks, it may not be the prettiest of rugby, but it sure is effective at the moment. Malcolm Marx breaks off the back, looks for the offload, does knock the ball on in the process though. Bounce it back up. Pablo Matera receives it, looking to the short side, passes it straight into touch. It will be the scrum feed now for Argentina. I'm just having power naps while following commentary. Says Semisosa, and can South Africa do this? Says Megan. They've certainly got the potential, but they need to make sure that they do keep those handling errors down. It's a great bit of work from Gonzalo Berfrano. Knocks the ball out of the hands of Malcolm Marx. A rear mistake. Pivot position is letting us down, says Cited. And there, but currently now 25 minutes through. Still 1 minute left of the Argentine yellow card. Now, the thing is, that's not going to be the last yellow card that Argentina get in this contest. I am almost certain of that, because the way that South Africa are playing, they're going for the corner every day of the week. They did turn down a possible 4 3-pointers, though. So they would be sitting on 19-0 if they had taken all of those chances and would only need 3 converted tries to be able to get themselves that points differential they are after. Gonzalo Berfrano about to put the ball in. A lot of pressure there. Penalty to the Springboks for the front row going down. It is really a huge amount of pressure. That time the Hulatita Chaparro has been penalised. He had that much force coming against him that the number on his back has almost left his back. It's half dangling off the number one. All your good players, or all our good players, are off. Can't wait for Dayanti to come back, says Arno van den Berg. And also we have got there 10 as a forward. And we struggle when 10 is not playing properly and Argentina can't score, says Boban. And there as well. But once again, the knee going down Argentina. They just don't seem like they've got too many options there. Stop complaining, says Dossi. Is that to me or to the people, I assume? And now Malcolm Marx. They've got Marcos Crema back out onto the field now. Malcolm Marx going to be going for the rolling maul. Nicely done by Peter Steftatoy to take that one, asking for his big fullback to get it going. Malcolm Marx sitting at the back of that rolling maul. It slowly marches 15 metres out from the line now for the Boks. Also, not you, boss, says Dossi. In there as well. Now, still going forward. Malcolm Marx breaking off. He's got kits off there. It's another advantage. It's another penalty in favour of the Springboks. Double blow of the whistle. Am I going to have to get my yellow card out? Yes, I am. It's another one for the Pumas. They're going to be playing this whole game with 14 men. I can almost guarantee you that. This time, it's going to be the youngster. It's going to be Juan Martin Gonzalez this time, who goes to the bin. And stupid mistakes at crucial moments, says Dawi. And by the way, where this game took place, it is in Durban, South Africa. So a home field advantage for the South Africans here. But 26 and a half minutes through. This is, I have to say, this is one of the most methodical breakdowns of a side I've seen in recent times. Because they literally have the Pumas in the back of their hands. It's advantage after advantage, penalty, yellow card. It's working brilliantly for the Springboks. And now the rolling maul's going. Joining in correctly. The ball's bounced out the back. It's going to be backwards Jordan or Jaden Hendrickse. He is short of the line, is he? And the Pumas trying to turn the ball over. I believe it's going to almost become an advantage. Willie LaRue looking to the short side. Sells the dummy, goes himself, and he's held up. Willie LaRue's got that one well and truly wrong. But they do have to release him. No, it's going to be the goal line dropout, and Pablo Matera is injured in back play. And catching up to the Wallabies with the most red yellow cards, and ref bias towards the Pumas, says Badamik. As in bias towards them for giving them more penalties against them. And last match ref was biased to the Pumas, literally, says Boban. And Malcolm Marx is carrying. He certainly is. And the question is, will the momentum continue when Bongiel Mbonambi makes his way out onto the field? I assume Malcolm Marx is getting 70 minutes here just to make sure that he is well and truly effective. Thomas Lavanini taking some deep breaths there. Yeah, it looks like his hip is quite injured here. Pablo Matera and RG just burning lung syndrome now. This is where we push even harder, says Cited, and Springboks won't get 40 points like this, says Lucanyeso. And Morning Chat says Master Mal. Okay, Pablo Matera looks like he might have a bit of blood on the head as well. Waleru unable to get that ball down. Held up. Malcolm Marx is better than Bongiel Mbonambi by a mile. He is. But I don't see them playing Marx for the full 80. I think they'll give Bongiel Mbonambi half a chance. For some reason, I just got that in my head. Yes, Malcolm Marx can play the 80 effectively. And if Argentina is going to play with 14 men the whole game, 39 points is not that much. Exactly right. And that is something that the Springboks know. That is why they are continuously going for the rolling maul, why they are getting those penalties back to back to back. Sia Khaleesi having a bit of a chat with the referee, just saying, keep an eye on those penalties, mate. Where are you watching the game, says Boban. I am watching it on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. The overall between these two sides, South Africa, they have won 29 out of the 33 matches that have been played between the two sides. One draw. Tries scored, 135 for the Springboks. Right, we're going to do, what is 135 divided by 33? 4.09 as an average for how many tries the Springboks score per game up against Argentina. That's not enough in this case. In desperate Bok, how to get 20 or 30 against 13 or 14 players, says Dossi. And also Malcolm Marx, man of the match, says Dowie. It's looking that way again. They'll be wondering whether or not anyone else has the potential of taking that man of the match off him, because it's been very dangerous in a majority of the games. They are just showing that scrum try that the Boks were able to get. Now, Argentina did well there to not give away the penalty, or else it could have been a penalty try and maybe another yellow card. This was in the 19th minute of the game with Jesper Visa. Now we sit at 29 minutes through, and it is still sitting 7-0. And also the ref slightly on the top side. Ignore the second-rate side, says Spider-Meek. The most appearances for these two sides, Eben Etzebeth in the head-to-heads, 19, Pablo Matera with 18, and then it is Beast at 17, Thomas Lavanini at 17, and Nicholas Sanchez with 16. There's Peter Stifter-Toy playing good. He's been all right. He's had a couple strong carries from what we've seen. Also been putting in some big hits when he needs to. The rolling maul's going nicely for him. So yeah, I'd say he hasn't really put a foot wrong this point of the match. More tries, please, says DJ. We only need 3 tries more than the Argentinians, and the rest of the points can be penalties, says Hunter. And that is something I think the Springboks out there on the park aren't thinking about. You know, they've turned down 12 possible points. You take those 12 points, you're sitting on 19-0, almost going into halftime. In fact, with 10 minutes left of the first half, and like you mentioned, you only need another 2 tries on top of that. They seriously need to start converting those penalties into points. Says Dawie will Los Pumas throw the game in, so the All Blacks don't win the Rugby Championship. Says Master Mel. Don't know. I feel like the Pumas are a passionate side. They don't want to sit there. They don't want to sit back and be defeated by a side comfortably, which is what the Pumas may find themselves having here. Thrown in by Malcolm Marx, straight to Eben Etzebeth. And again, the rolling maul is now set. Argentina trying to stop it from marching. Jesper Visa getting in there. Almost onto the Pumas side. Khaleesi breaks and Khaleesi scores. Skipper has been able to get the job done. And that is another try for the South Africans. I'm Sia Khaleesi, the rolling maul, the most effective tool for the Springboks at this point in time for the rest of this match, I would say. And that now makes it the 12 points to 0. And sorry, converting penalties into points, says Dowie. And also, we have got there, why do I get the feeling Puma's going to get the Boks over the threshold they need, says Troy B. Mainly because there's a very good chance it could happen. At this point in time, the Pumas haven't been out of their half in a very long time. Franz Stein gets it over, and it makes a score of 14 points to 0 for the Springboks at this point of the game. So theoretically, they score 40 points if they continue scoring at this rate of points. That is enough to be able to get themselves a win if they can keep Argentina scoreless. But Sia Khaleesi did brilliantly there, breaking off, scored the try. And go Bok, says Planet Walker, and finally the try. He plays like he's a wallaby, says Master Mel. And also we have got their Bok, always good, or play good away, at home not so much, says Spider Mech. Now, 29 minutes through. It's now going to be kicked off from halfway. They are still not back to the amount of players that they need, but Eduardo Bello, he is off the field, and I believe it's Guido Pitti who has replaced him, and also does this decide the Rugby Championship winner. It certainly does. If Argentina are defeated by 39 points, South Africa get themselves a bonus point for having more tries. They will be victorious in this matchup. It's kicked long. Guido Pitti actually off the field for Pablo Matera, but I believe Eduardo Bello also off the field for Joel Scalevi due to that head knock he took a little bit earlier on, and also the blood bin. And also we have got there, guys, just play the game. Points will follow, says Clarence. Exactly right. Clarence, sorry, I think I pronounced that wrong now. Juan Cruz Malia. This is the first time Argentina have been inside of the Springbok half in quite some time. The Springboks, they need to be strategic. Oh, Argentina's going to kick the ball away. Going to be up high, just inside of the 22. Willie LaRue takes the mark. And now they will have the option to kick it back downfield. If there's a will, there's a way. Come on, Box. Keep the Argies from scoring. Won't be easy, says Floyd Kingy. Now Willie LaRue sees a bit of a gap down the field. Kicks it downfield into touch. And now 45 metres out. This line out needs to start firing for Argentina because they have made mistakes time after time here. And also we have got the Go Bok need 25 measly points, says Spider-Mick. And also, who's the most outstanding player so far? I'd say Malcolm Marks. Been leading very well, getting the rolling maul try, or helping with the rolling maul try. The line-out success rate, it's been huge for him, and also getting a turnover in the process. Enrique has said, come on, Pumas. They do need this one to be straight. And they do need this one to be accurate. That's the thing. So many have been stolen so far from the Springboks, all called as not straight. That is the extra pressure. That's going to be nicely taken at the front. And now the rolling maul for Argentina starts. And this is a very good one, moving up to only 40 metres out from the Springboks line. It's an advantage for Argentina. For the first time in the match, they are going to get a little bit of it. What's that? Carreras has just thrown it to Makazole Mapimpi, forgetting he's on the other team. But now it is going to be a possible three-pointer attempt if they want it. But the question is that enough in this game? I think they need to go for the corner and try and get themselves back into the contest a little bit more. Plus, it uses up a bit more time on the clock and played hard for only 14 points. Yes, they go for the corner here for Argentina, collapsing the maul penalty against South Africa. Which team are you supporting? I am just supporting the team that plays the better rugby. So far, the Springboks have certainly been the more dominant side. But Argentina, they are a side that when they show their heart, they certainly don't want to give up. And that's what they need to do here. Possession is 77% in favour of the Springboks. Believe the most one-sided we have seen in the Rugby Championship. Now, Julia Montoya, they do actually decide to go with a short set play off line-out time that time. Oh, yes, Favisa almost ended up picking up a player and putting him back down. Now Gonzalo Burrano goes off to Marcos Crema. Coming back, Malcolm Marks. It's another advantage. That's going to be for the high tackle. This is an easy 3 points for the Pumas if they want it, but they will continue to attack. Gonzalo Burrano, inside ball. That is a knock on, and that will now be the penalty in favour of Argentina. Straight out in front. I don't think they'll be going for the scrum because they have been outclassed in that department. I forgot Mapimpi was playing. Yeah, hardly touched the ball. The only time he's been past the ball so far is from Santiago Carreras. Other than that, though, no touches in, guys. Play it for the boy who ran without shoes after the Springbok truck for 5K, says Clarence. And also go for the kick. Right, Argentina once again looking for the corner. It's a double blow of the whistle and time off here. Oh. Okay, started as legal. I mean, starting off legal, I guess, is a bold call for that one, as it was round the neck from almost the get-go. And also captain says Hassan there. And also Wallabies are going to be a handful at the World Cup, says Rick. And there's about 5 minutes out now. The Pumas. Time back on. Let's go. Damon Murphy given the warning. The Pumas, they're taking too much time. Get back to your line out or else you have a Bernard Foley on your hands. And go the block. You can do it. Cheers, Charlize. And there now, Julia Montoya. To throw this ball. And Hamish, be honest, you support the ABs, but your heart with South Africa, right, says Spider Mick. I mean, at the moment, South Africa are certainly looking like the side who are going to win this game, but the Rugby Championship as well and truly still on the line. It's been dragged down by South Africa, but they have dragged it down legally. Now 5 meters out, Geronimo de la Fuente, tackled by Sia Khaleesi. Burrano goes back across. That's going to be a penalty to South Africa. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, running the same lines. Eduardo Bello, no, in fact, it's his replacement, Joel Scalavi. He got that one very wrong, and it does cost the Pumas an attacking opportunity. Kick downfield, I should say, from Frans Steyn. Burrano just ended up running the same line, didn't receive the pass, got tackled by Jasper Visa. And they did say it was the obstruction, which it was every day of the week. 3 minutes left of the Argentine yellow card here. Now Malcolm Marx. Oh, a little bit of a kangaroo impersonation there. It's not straight from Malcolm Marx. That's that rare of a call that normally, you just don't expect to see it. One is certainly not what they would have been after there. But yeah, I was quite impressed with the way that, I think it was Ludiacha, actually became a kangaroo. He was jumping, but he didn't get the ball. They went to Peter Steph instead. Argentina have got themselves a scrum feed now. Momentum is slipping away from the box right now, and we win in period. Says it was Tina? Is that how you'd say that? I've probably said that very wrong, haven't I? Rugby is our heritage, says Barkley there. And also, we have got Springbok do it for our National Bride Day, says Sparky. In the chat also, but Burrano out to put this ball in. And also the Rue impersonator. Well, Malcolm is a human after all. That is going to be a free kick for Argentina. They want to take it quickly. Marching forward now. Eben Etzebev, in fact, it was Ludiacha who did very nice there. Thomas Lavanini. But this is now speeding up here for the Pumas. It looks like they've got a little bit of extra gas to give for this first half. Sitting 35 minutes down. Burrano goes back, goes for the grubber. It's going to roll into touch. Another mistake from Argentina. It seems to be anytime they try and kick it in behind, that is when the ball is going straight back into the hands of South Africa. Now going to be the line out on the 22, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. Bok do it for Mandela. Says Buttermilk, and also we have got there in the chat 3 of 4. Come on, boys, I believe that is at the end from Stephen Berger. And there as well. And complaining about the ref is also our heritage, is cited. Malcolm Marx. Can he get this one right? This time almost stolen by Argentina, just getting it slightly wrong there, though. Sia Khaleesi hitting the line hard. Argentina will be looking to try and get themselves a turnover here in the next little while. Considered as a ruck, so he is not able to step over the top. Jaden Hendrickse now has to kick that one downfield, and got to love that South Africa crowd in the stands. And I think it's awesome that this game's being played in South Africa rather than in Argentina. I feel like there's going to be that much more of an atmosphere. The ball going up, not going to be taken cleanly by Eben Etzebev. Gonzalo Burrano receives it, tries to go through. Jaden Hendrickse almost caught him a little bit high. Jasper Visa straight on the ball, wins the penalty. The box just lethal straight in there. Jasper Visa has been able to get the turnover penalty. Will be 6 feet under. What channel is the game being played on? So if you are in South Africa, I'm not too sure about the DSTV channel, but it is Sky Sport 1 for anyone who is here in New Zealand. 20 seconds left. Frans Steyn. Oh, he's going to take on the 3 points. Okay, Frans Steyn's decided he wants to warm up the hammies and get this one going. Although this will mean that Argentina are back to 14 men on the field. Interesting choice. Or sorry, back to 15 men on the field. And also, we have got the come on South Africa, says Chris Swanepoel. And also, even when it's not us playing the ref, in last week's New Zealand versus Australia game was beyond pathetic, says Darryl Horowitz. I'm watching from BV. Is that Bolivia? It doesn't actually show me the flag, but it's just got BV. You let me know, Shane. And also, we have got a good choice, says Sparky. Or sorry, Sparkly. South Africa should be 30-0 at least, says Cooper Cronk. Now, Francois Steyn. Well, to say he's got the distance, he's got the accuracy as well. And now it makes the score 17-0 for the Springboks. Only another 23 points, or 22 points, in fact. But Argentina, look at that. The strike of the ball straight down the middle of the sticks. And now that was nail-biting, says Lady Lynn. And the chat there as well. Kids in the crowd, they are well and truly celebrating this one for the Springbok. 2.5 minutes left. Argentina kick it off high. And it's looking deep inside of the 22. Ludiacha takes it beautifully. And now I believe it is going to be the kicking opportunity for Jaden Hendrickse. And we don't need 6 tries if the Boks can keep Argentina tryless. We only need 3 tries and 39 points differential, says JC. And I think that's something that the Springboks weren't considering early on. Now that they've taken those extra 3 points, maybe they see how easy they can get the points on the board. That is going to be a South African line out, although the players are right in the face of the touch judge. Gonzalo Berthride does well. Let that ball go. Makazole Mapimpi. Most we've seen him active in this game was trying to get the ball back off Gonzalo Bertrano. An awesome who. Says Butter making 22 points if Archie don't score, says Floyd Kingy. And also is also watching from the States, up north, Montana, says Stephen Berger. And Frans Steins will kick it from the Verstadt to KwaZulu-Natal, says Keegan Stain. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. It's going to be a knock-on advantage for Argentina. If they can score right now before halftime, that would give them a massive confidence booster going into the second, just to show that they can cross that line. They're kicking it again. They've gone for the kick in behind. This time it may be effective, though, if that ball doesn't roll out. Nice kick on the inside from Emiliano Boffelli. Picked up by Argentina now. Juan Martin Gonzalez goes down the short side. 5 meters out from the line now for Argentina. Big forwards. Huito Petty. It's an advantage to Argentina. Great chance. Thomas Lavanini throws himself at the line. Malcolm Marks on his knees over the top. Gonzalo Bertrano gets the try for Argentina right at the end of the first half. The Springboks, they went to sleep for half a second, and the Pumas are able to capitalize. Pumas try scorers, and that is going to be Bertrano, who has been able to score it for the Argentines in the 39th minute of the first half. Just one little mistake off the line out for the Springboks, and it cost them. And is Ireland overrated? I don't think so. I think Ireland have been looking very good as of late. Did I hear Damon Murphy say they just want to check something here? And Pumas are great off the kickoff, says Miguel. And also we've got that. Well, that was excellent, Argentina, says Lady Lynn. Yeah, Bertrano. They've checked it. Have they? Yes, they have. And now Emiliano Boffelli going to be lining up this kick. And also the Boks must stay on there, yes, says Greffa. But Emiliano Boffelli, normally pretty accurate with the kicking, although he's normally better from further out. No, says the up. And there. And also we have got the I'm taking the piss, mate, says Shane. Now the kick coming up for South Africa. Oh, sorry, for the Pumas, I should say. Now we need 4 tries. Feels amazing, man, says JC. Yeah, that's the thing. It's no longer that the Springboks, the minimum amount of points that they need is 39. Now the minimum amount of points that they will need is going to be 46 in this matchup. But Boffelli got the kick over. It's halftime in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. 17 points to 7 in favour of the Boks heading into the half-time sheds. We have got there, I think Ireland are, and with a fair chance at the next World Cup. And good kick, Argentina, says Lady Lynn. And there's our own congratulations, New Zealand, says Derek. 1 moment ago, it was still on the cards for South Africa. Don't give up on the Boks just yet. They have still got a good chance in this game. They just need to make sure that they are switched on for the full 40 minutes of the second half. Because that's the thing. 17 points to 7. It doesn't look as impressive as 17-0. But when you consider 17-0 is almost half of the points that they were going to need, they were in a good position in this contest. But looking through at the match center, we're going to have a look at some interesting stats. And creeping up to the 40, says Spider Meek. And there as well. So the stats and the facts are going to be as follows. The Pumas, they had not a lot of the ball at all. They didn't even have a single clean break. Just the one for South Africa. Next 40 going to be fire, says Keegan Stain. And it makes you wonder, do the South Africans regret not taking those extra 3 points when they were available? Theoretically, this game could be sitting 29 points to 7 at this point in time. But it's not. It's only the 10 points difference between the two sides. But South Africa, they scored the 2 tries, was Jasper Visa and Sia Khaleesi. Then it was the Pumas try of Gonzalo Bertrano right at the end of the half. And Mapimpi changed his sparkler. Yeah, we've hardly seen him. Like I mentioned, the only pass that he's received was from an Argentine player. And then the other time that we saw him, it was when he was trying to get the ball back off an Argentine player on the touchline. But the meters carried 145 for the Springboks compared to the 91 of the Pumas. Defenders beaten 6-5. So the Pumas actually having a decent amount of time with the running game when they get it right. I agree, how much points differential, says Nathan, and also should be a good rub. All Blacks versus the box, says Shane. And South Africa can win this one. They need to keep composure and increase the pressure while speeding up. Exactly right. Taking the opportunities when the points are there and available. Because the thing is, looking at this stat, this is one that is certainly one to look out for in the second half. 14 penalties against the Pumas. They have been shown the yellow card twice, right? One of those. It won't be long until almost every penalty they give 5 meters out from their line, they're going to be seeing another one of these. They're going to be collecting them. So the big thing is you need to make sure, if you are the South Africans, that you get somewhere around where they were for that 20 minutes, or actually it was the 10 to 20 minute margin. They were very dangerous. They were getting penalty after penalty after penalty. They weren't clinical enough because they did only get themselves the one try in the process of Jesper Wiese, and then a little bit later on with Khaleesi. But you've got to make sure you try and get pretty much Argentina penalised out of the game, play it all in their half. The Pumas, they did only have 34% possession in that first half, sending the bomb squad after halftime, says Gideon there. Or Gideon, is it, I assume, the pronunciation. And if you put pressure one, then they will fold. They gain the two fold to half, says these there. And also we have got their kick for the corner or scrum in the 22, says Gaddock. I like the chance of a scrum, to be honest. The corner kicks have been going all right, but Malcolm Marx's line-out throw in the last little bit of time has gone a little bit shakier. And also we've got their Puma playing to win, but with the yellow card, it's not going to happen, says Rapate. Although all of their men back out on the field now, it's just those continuous penalties we have seen against the Pumas that could end up backfiring on them in the end. Looking through at running meters, Jesper Wiese the most out of any player for the South Africans. 36 meters carried, 7 carries, and 1 defender beat. And then Kanamudi, he actually had 27 meters carried from 1 singular carry. Makazole Mapimpi, I mentioned it earlier on, he has not had a single carry throughout this match. That is something that either he needs to try and change in the second half, or he might as well not be out on the wing. They might as well get Kurtley Aransa out there, whose name I still don't say right. So keep Mapimpi for now, just so I can get the hang of Kurtley Aransa. And then after that, they can make the sub. But yeah, he needs to go searching for the ball a little bit more to try and be exactly as effective as he can be for the Argentines. Juan Emoff, 20 meters carried, off his 2 carries. That is the most running meters out of any of the Argentines. In fact, Guido Petti sitting second with the running meters. Now, he only came off the bench not too long ago. 15 meters carried in the 3 tackles made. We have seen 5 from Lutiache, also Jesper Wiese and Sia Khaleesi. Turnovers have been effective. We actually saw 1 tackle from Makazole Mapimpi, and in that tackle, he did get the turnover 1. And looking through at Argentina, they had 3 men who all made 6. Gonzalo Berfrano, Pablo Matera, who is now off the field with his injury. That is a big shame for Pablo. And then Marcos Crema there at number 6. Or the 6 tackles, I should say, for that one. And also we've got their Jazz early days. Remember when Ireland peaked too soon, says Dozzy. And also we have got their Rinsa, says Far. And also never ever seen, or never ever as a Springbok get that points to win, says Adrian. And also we did have a bit earlier on, I did miss one. Who takes the decision to kick or not, as that idiot needs to be fired immediately, says Wickers. I think that's Sia Khaleesi. I think it's actually down to the captain and a few of the other senior players, such as a Willie LaRue and Ebenezer Beth. My voice is about to disappear. That is unfortunate. We don't want it to. There we go. Hopefully the voice will be here for the second half. Give Mapimpi, or give Mapimpi the ball, I should say. And also we've got their Springboks likely to win with or without the championship, says Sammy Sosa. Yeah, that's the thing. At bare minimum, South Africa want the win. But the thing is, if they win it by anywhere around that 30 mark, they'll feel like they've missed the opportunity. Now, the points differential is only 10 here. So they need 30 points unanswered in the second half to claim the Rugby Championship. It is a tough ask. It is 5, or in fact, it's 4 converted tries and something. But this is the Springboks we're talking about. They're one of those sides that when their backs are against the wall, when it is the toughest that it can be, that is when they sometimes shine the brightest. And that's what we may see from them in the second half. I'm still impressed with Argentina, though. The way they were able to somehow hang on, even with the men disadvantage, being able to just keep themselves in the game for long enough. And do you have, Hamish, you use any paid software for video thumbnails, or OBS Studio makes it, says Coding? So I actually make all of my thumbnails myself on a free software called GIMP, which a lot of you probably haven't heard of, as it's not actually a very popular one, but it's one that we use back at school. It takes a lot longer, I would say, than some of the other ones, but it's worth it to enjoy making the thumbnails. And Boks can do it. They must make more pressure and not lose focus. Play with a mission and score with time-based increments in order to put pressure on Los Pumas. Thanks from South Africa, says Herman. I like the tactics. Looking at the clock, going, right, boys, first 10 minutes, we want to try. Second 10 minutes, we want another try. Just keeping on ticking over. If you have your try in that 10 minutes, why not take a 3-pointer if it's on offer? Just to get up to, rather than having the 7 points for that 10, having a possible 10. You know, it's all about game management. And normally they're not too bad at doing it, the Springboks, but they need to make sure that they get it right here. And Gibbons Awesome says it was the Borkster. And I was like, yep, his mother is stoked too. Prime convict behavior, says Fluffy. And also we have got there, as in Gimp Mask Kinky, says Sebastian. Not quite. It's got a weird picture of a half dog, half cat thing as its thumbnail. And loving your commentary, Hamish, says I do appreciate that a lot. I realized we have been going for 1 hour, 40 minutes. And I have not once said, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I feel like that's really slack for myself. So anyone who hasn't, I probably should have said it about 1 hour and 20 minutes ago. But yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. And we have got plenty more rugby commentary coming your way. We've got a game tomorrow night for the Gallagher Premiership. We're doing all of the November internationals for the rugby, the URC. We have got also Super Rugby when it comes around. There's a lot of games coming up. And also a little bit of cricket thrown in there in the mix as well. It'll be heartbreaking if we miss it by 1 point, says Cited. And if New Zealand and South Africa draw, use Duck Louise. Or the Duck Lewis, I think that is, says Spider-Meek. And Pumas can still win. You plan to upgrade to 4K live video stream, says Coding? Probably not. We are in 1080p at the moment, which is, I think, not too bad. Plus, normally the problem is with 4K streaming is if people's internet isn't quick enough or the device they're using isn't quick enough to handle 4K, they actually get downgraded to 1080p anyway. So it's only the ones who have super speedy Wi-Fi who actually benefit. So, yeah, we just have 1080p at the moment on our streaming software. Seems to do the job not too badly. And Checker has some sneaky tactics of his own, says Cited. One of them should definitely be to not give away 14 penalties in that second half, though. So that would certainly help them out. And Sports Cafe had a gimp and go the Pumas, says Tony McCarty. And there as well. But do let me know also, ladies and gentlemen, where are you watching this live stream from? We are 5:12 a.m. here in New Zealand. How many Kiwis have stayed up to see if they are going to be taking home the Rugby Championship? How many Australians, South Africans? We had a few people from Japan a bit earlier on. And also we have got there, I'm just amazed at how Checker can talk through his nose, says Fluffy. And I'm guessing the Bulls, Stormers, Sharks, and Lions Flyhouse we included in the autumn tours, says Sammy Souza. Yeah, it would be quite cool to see the likes of Amani Labok, Jordan Hendrickse, maybe coming up a little bit later on, and Sebastian Grama is a tool, says Manly C. Evans. So I assume that is Master Mal's second account then. And wonder if any of the All Blacks are watching the game, says Nov Mum. I would think so. I feel like they'll be watching eagerly, seeing exactly who is going to be taking it out. And also UK London, says Rapati. East London is for South Africa, says Greta. And also it's Heritage Day in South Africa. I'm watching from the Netherlands. Thanks for the commentary, Hamish. Kiwi in America, cheer. And talks through and a Rugby England, says Eric. And Hamish tells Norm Maxwell, he's doing very well. I actually chatted to him, I think it was last week we had a bit of a catch up. And I was discussing future plans for the channel with him in terms of a big video that I've got planned. I've mentioned the big video a few times. I haven't told you what it is yet, but it's something that is certainly going to test us big time with the amount of editing, recording, and everything involved in it. It's going to be exciting. And Focus Bok, with all your mind, it's going to be rough, says Lady Lynn. But that's the thing. Sometimes the Boks, they do enjoy a bit of a scrappy game. They want the opposition to be throwing absolutely everything at them because that's when they get those little advantages. And then the rolling maul becomes a penalty try, becomes a yellow card. You get a high shot from a Puma, and then it's all on for young and old for the second 40 of this match. And Cub will go to the mighty All Blacks, or the Cup will go to the mighty All Blacks, says Andre Erasmus. And nice, says Nathan. Also from Scotland is David there. And from the couch, says Cited. And check it too much play. The didgeridoo, says Spider-Man, and also awesome commentating from Greta there. Thank you very much. Hugely appreciate it. But yeah, like I mentioned, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Hugely appreciate you guys all being here. And the second half is only just a little bit away. Do let me know who you think will be a standout player in the second half as well. We look through quickly at the benches and see exactly who could be making the impact. Now, we have already seen the change of Guido Petti. He is on the field for Pablo Matera. Big injury for the Argentines. The South Africans, they went with the 6-2 split. So I probably, if I had to guess, I would say we're going to see at least 2 or 3 of these players for South Africa come off the bench. Quagga Smith, he may come on for Peter Steph the Toy. Dwayne Vermeulen, I think they'll wait a little bit later because Jasper Wiese is doing very well. And then maybe... No, I'm actually going to change that. I think they just make the one sub, and that will be Quagga Smith for Peter Steph the Toy. I think that will be the only one that they're going, watching it like a tennis match, clock to the TV, and then a left, right, says Hamish. Oh, sorry, that was from Prime Minister. And also, we have got there, will that video be a compilation of you saying Arinsa all the time? It will not, although that would be a very long editing process as well. Argentinians know how to come back, says Lady Lynn. And Boffelli, says Tony, is someone who's going to step up. Batista Del Gui off the bench for the Argentines. I think most effective player for Argentina off the bench for me is probably going to be Thomas Kubeli. He was always doing very well for the Western Force. Then when he gets the opportunity at international level, it seems to just translate straight back over, which is why I think he will be a very dangerous option. Sadly, think the Boots or the Box will win this by 14-ish points. And also kudos to Kiwi Lad, says Shannon there. And thanks for the commentary, Hamish, says Russell. No worries at all. It's always awesome seeing all you guys here for these live streams. I will mention we've got a post-match review that is going to be coming to you guys live at 6:05 a.m. New Zealand time. So it's a middle of the night one, but it is going to be a lot of fun as well. We won't be doing that matchup taking place between the Lions and Cardiff. I believe I will be sleeping during that time, as my voice may have completely disappeared at that point. And Bexhill on CUK near Hastings, Springboks supporter, thanks for the commentary, says Beth there. And yes, Hamish always does a great job reading comments and commentating, way better than the TV commentary. And let's go, Vamos Pumas, a really good, awesome commentary, says Derek. And once again, very hugely appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. But now the second half just about to get underway. The way that we sit currently, the Springboks, they have got a 10-point advantage. They need to win the second half by 29 extra points than what the Pumas get to be able to make their way in and get themselves the Rugby Championship title. How many South Africans playing? I only hear a couple of names. Come on, let's play as a team, says Barry. It's a good point. 45,982 in attendance for this contest. But the names that I've said constantly, Jasper Wiese, Malcolm Marx, and then other than that, a little bit of Ludiacha as well. And then in the backs, really no one stepped up for the Springboks at this point in time. Few little mistakes. I have to stay up and watch Toulouse versus Racing 92. The match is about as good as it gets regarding club rugby, says Sebastian. Yeah, I'm certainly going to have to catch a highlights reel of that one. We are here again, my friend. Thanks for the great commentary. Did you play the guitar too? I did indeed, Gershon. Did decide that it would be a good idea. It's Mark's birthday. I have 52,000 people at my party. There you go. Young Mark is having one of the biggest parties of anywhere, really. And also, I have DSTV, but I'd rather follow you here. Excellent commentary. Keep going, bro. I hope to see you soon in South Africa. I'm keen. I've heard many invites. I've had many invites to Bryce, and I'm keen on taking up a couple of those offers in the future. But the Springboks, they will be receiving the kickoff for the second half, taken nicely by, once again, you heard it in the first half many times, Jasper Wiese. And thanks to our record-breaking coach, Fozzie. And also, we've got there, good to be here. I've been a great championship in New Zealand forwards. I'm making major improvements, says Gregor. Yeah, they've been working hard over the last few weeks, and it does seem to be now showing the progress for them. Nicely taken by Emiliano Boffelli. 40 metres out from the line. Marcus Olimapipi tried to get into the breakdown. Doesn't quite get the turnover he is after. Bert Renault goes to Santiago Carreras. Now the ball has gone high. It's going to be contestable. Just outside of the 22. Brilliantly taken by Willie LaRue. And now it's back on the side of the box. It's a penalty to Argentina, though. That is big, because now they've got a couple options here. They can either go for the 3 points and get within just the 7 points difference, or they can go for the corner and go all out and try and make the absolute most of it. I think they're going for the corner here. I would anyway if I was the Pumas. And it's National Bride Day. I will save you a steak, says Gershon. And maybe quite some time till I get over there, so you may have to freeze it, or else it will be extremely moldy and probably quite rotten by the time I get there. But Billy LaRue, I believe it was actually Canon Moody who gave away that penalty. Wes Chislin always injured, says Master Mel. I believe he's actually back now, but he just isn't going to be playing in the Springbok side. I believe he's back from his injury, though. Now thrown in for Argentina. Taken nicely by Marcos Crema. Dragged down. It's an advantage now to Argentina once again. Gonzalo Berrano goes back. Good attack and run from Geronimo de la Fuente. He's just been held up by Frans Steyn and Malcolm Marx. Going back for another penalty against the Springboks now. And line out and drive for Los Pumas, says Tony McCarty. And also we can watch the live rugby now. Don't have DTSV or DSTV, says Chanel. Do you have a VPN, Chanel? Because that might be your best bet. If you've got a VPN, you can set yourself to Stan Sport in Australia, and you will be able to sign up for a free 7-day trial to be able to watch this contest. If you don't have a VPN, highly recommend the one that I've got in the pinned comment. With our link, you can actually get an extra 3 months free on top of the 2-year plan. So I would recommend it if you are after a bit more internet safety. And there as well, nicely taken out the front for Argentina. Set play, Julian Montoya tries to go short side. Did he keep it in? No, he didn't. Just into touch. Just running out of space there for the Pumas. I'm not too sure about that tactic of going for it on that near side. Try coming, says Tony. And is it true that the Boks wear their underpants back to front, says Shane? I don't know where you heard that one, but I wouldn't actually know. To be fair, and go for the 3, says Miguel. Now thrown in by Eben Etzebeth. Well, not thrown by Eben Etzebeth, but taken by Eben Etzebeth. And now Jasper Wiese starts to drive the lead. Still going. And still striding forward. Brilliant run from him. Although it takes them outside of the 22, so now cannot kick into touch on the full. Looks like Jaden Hendrickse might be considering a box kicking option here, or they might go to Frans Steyn instead after a couple more phases with the forwards. Only in front of the Prince, says Dossie there. Now back across Hendrickse. Goes to Lud Diacha. Great body position. Just didn't quite get onto the ball for Joel Scalavi there. Use please is the call from Damon Murphy. Must be the anxiety. Says Shane. It's gone high. Gonna be a contestable one. Great take from Emiliano Boffelli, though. Back in the hands of Argentina. Nahor Tita Chaparro hitting it hard at the line. Peter Steftoy has to make the tackle there. Carreras considered the kick. Why are you kicking there? I feel like the better option is to definitely... Oh, has that gone through the hands of Makazole Mapimpi? He's had to clean it up inside of his own end goal area. Goes back across to Frans Steyn, who gives it the boot downfield, and the territory battle goes the way of Argentina again. Only 20 points by go. Here's Gershan. Yeah. Although, actually, they need a little bit more now. Because of those 10 points difference, they do need now 29 points on top of what they've got here. What kind of tackles is that RG's Jasper smashing through? Yeah, he just broke about 4 tackles in a row there for Jasper Wiese. And Thor has his work cut out for him to get his place back from Jasper Wiese. I don't see it happening with Wiese's form of late. Exactly right. I think Jasper Wiese is your option in the World Cup. Yes, Ivan Ruas is going to be a decent crack at some point in the future, but I don't think it's quite now. Yes, he's brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but I see him as him and Wiese kind of swapping and changing. I think it's when Vermeulen goes, that's when they'll bring in Ivan Ruas. And if it was now, he'd be fine in the side. But I really think you've got to keep Jasper in the starting lineup with the way that he's been going. Although, saying that, Ivan Ruas doing brilliantly in his last match for the Stormers, running about a 50-meter try in for himself. Gotta love the face of Fozzie, just like my teddy bear, says Shane. And I think Springboks has this match with a 10-point lead. Says coding there, New Zealand Keegan. Says Andre there as well. And also thanks. And they're from Reginald Jacobs. Thank you for being here, mate. I thought that picture was actually of Elton Yankees for a second. I had to look at it twice. Now 44 minutes into the contest. And it will be the line-out for Argentina on the 22. We had a little bit more of a drinks break there. Timing not going the way of the Boks now. And Pumas need to raise the tempo of this game. And Tony has said there, and he's 100% correct. If the Pumas can keep this pace going, could be a pretty tough finish for both of these sides. 28 or 29, a big ask for South Africa, says Keegan. It is. It's 4 converted tries and a penalty, or 3 converted tries and a try that's unsuccessful. Now Bertrano goes back across. It's going to be Carreras. Goes to Juan Cruz Malia. Passes on the outside now. Juan Emoff. He's close to the line, 15 metres out. Jesse Creel makes it a crucial tackle there. Now Marcos Crema runs it straight as an opposite number. Pera Steftatoy, they have to release him. Renault now going short side off to Joel Scalevi. In fact, it is the longer side. He continues to roll. It's a penalty against him. Joel Scalevi has not had a good game since coming on the field. That is the second penalty against him. Just keeps on making the mistakes. Is New Zealand going to win the championship? Only if South Africa don't win this game by 39 points. And when is Elton coming back? Not too sure at this stage. When he gets to come back into the side. Let's go Pumas, says Andre. Yeah, just rolling forward. A little bit too much rolling from Joel Scalevi. So, yeah, he has done a lot wrong in this match since making his way out onto the field, but he's had to be there because Eduardo Bello has not passed his HIA, I believe, or at least they haven't decided to bring him back out, maybe unable to stop the blood coming from his head. Malcolm Marks throws the ball in, nicely taken by Peter Steftatoy. Now, the rolling maul begins for the Springboks. This is a tactic we saw in the first half. Great push back from the Pumas, though, to be able to stop it completely. Now, Jaden Hendrickse. Oh, that was a little bit high on Hendrickse. That one was going close. Down on the fall. Nice work from Juan Emoth. Finds the offload now to Juan Cruz Malia. Ball off to Santiago Carreras. Looks for a possible 50-22. The ball is curving. Franz Stein has to get back. Takes it inside of his own 22. He's taken it out. So that one cannot find the touchline. And it's gone straight back down the middle of the field in Durban. Now the counter-attack for Argentina. The offload's made. Nice run from Matthías Moroni, almost having to run over his own teammate. Dodges Franz Stein. He actually ducked under the challenge from the veteran 10. Now Marcos Crema has got it 40 metres out from the line now for Los Pumas. Looking to attack more. They have been a lot more aggressive in the second half than we did see in the first. Going for the corner rather than the three a couple of times. Moody tried to get the turnover, unable to do so. Now short ball on the short side. Juan Martin Gonzalez. What a step. He has just done a step of dreams around Makazole Mapimpi. That was an incredible step right there from Juan Martin Gonzalez. He wants the number one try scorer spot. First try in the match is for the Rugby Championship. Did he get him with a stutter step down the swing? Because if he did, that is absolute class. Oh, he's done Willie LaRue. He went the left, then he went the right, and then he went good night over the line. That is some of the best footwork you will see from a loose forward in World Rugby today. Bomb. The defense was questionable from Willie LaRue, though, you would have to say. But Juan Martin Gonzalez has been able to score that try. And that is in the 47th minute. And now it becomes the question of, can the Pumas get themselves a possible win? Oh, Emiliano Boffelli wants the ball. It is lost at the moment. And also we have got there, they're doing everything wrong. Says Santiago. That is well summarized at the moment. In the second half, it just hasn't quite worked out for them. And Vamos Pumas, the try for the Pumas there. And also we have got there, step of a wallaby, says Master Mel. And also we have got there, that was fantastic teamwork, Argentina and Fozzie in the bookie's favourite. And nice. My voice almost gave out. Go Skippy. And also how much time is left in the match. There is still another 33 minutes left in this contest. Argentina find themselves sitting on the 12 points compared to the Springboks sitting on 17. And Tanzania go back. Says it was, is it Lewis or Louise there? And I'll say, why do the Springboks drink from a bottle? Says Prime, drink from a bottle? I mean, I drink from a bottle. I'm going to have a drink right now because or else my voice is going to disappear. Well, you should go and play netball. I'm terrified of Japan. We're going to lose out of the Rugby World Cup quarterfinal playing like this. Boffelli lines it up, and he's got it over. And also how much more useless cab the box can be at this point, says Hangarat. And also we've got the looking sharp Hamish. Got a date after this game? I do not. I have got a date with my bed. That sounds weird. I'm going to be sleeping for a while, and then I am getting up, and me and George, we are then going to be doing some recording for the main channel and also for the gaming channel. So we've got quite a bit going on in the near future. Hopefully my voice is still here for a nice conversion, says Car Crazy. So now it is sitting 17 points to 14. Do you know where I can watch this match live for free? Says Arthur. Depends on what country you're in, Arthur. Which country are you in? Do let me know. Now, it's kicked deep. Oh, it's hit him, though. That's a mistake. Big time from Gonzalo Bertrano. He kicks the ball away out of frustration. It was kicked off long from Frans Steyn. Gonzalo Bertrano, all he had to do was just let that ball roll into touch. The thing is, though, it's a 22 dropout. Very lucky when it's Cheslin Colby back, hopefully very soon for the Boks. Right, the crowd are not happy with the fact that it's a 22, but because it was inside of the in-goal area, it kind of counts as the ball being put down. So it's off the chest. So due to that, it doesn't count as a knock-on. I believe they have said. It's already out 22. Says Tony McCartan also. We're a tier 3 nation with flashy talents, says Santiago. Now it's going to be kicked off long. From their 22, running it back big. Dwayne Vermeulen, almost see-through at this stage. Someone's got the wrong color kit on, I would think. Or someone's mixing with the green screen too much on the pitch. Because a few of the Springboks are actually becoming invested in that Castle Lager sign. Now going down into the 22. The Pumas, they do not take the mark that time. Kicking it low. He has shanked that one badly. Looks like it's going to stay in the field of play. Willie LaRue receives it now, passing it across to Frans Steyn. Tries to bulldoze his way for Guido Petty's just thrown him like he's doing judo. And it's a penalty to the Pumas. Not releasing penalty. 2 tries each. There's Cooper Cronk. Yep, it currently sits 2 tries apiece. So that's the thing. South Africa, if they were able to get this win, they still need those 3 extra tries on top of how many the Pumas do manage to get. And also, we've got their shagged or shanked. Says Dossi, he shanked it. He did messed that one up quite badly. That was once again another mistake from Joel Scalavi. He missed the tackle. And I tried to watch this game on Twitter. I don't see anything, says Arthur. So if you are in Australia, you can watch it on Stan Sport. If you aren't in Australia, I do recommend a VPN. We have got that pinned comment that can take you to one. You set yourself to Australia and get a Stan Sport free trial. You'll be able to watch all of the games of the Rugby Championship live and for free. And also all of the upcoming matches that are coming up now as well. And also we have got there, he's old, says Santiago. I assume that is talking about Frans Steyn or Dwayne Vermeulen. Could be either. Now Julio Montoya about to throw it in on the 22. Nicely taken. Now back across Gonzalo Bertrano. Nice attacking run. Now the Pumas, if they lose this game by less than 7, it's become a rolling maul. So they will have to now try and use it. This is when Argentina needs to commit more of their players. And they've managed to get it out of that rolling maul as well. Brilliantly done. Malcolm Marks, I think he left his feet there. It looks like he might have gotten an injury as well. Oh, he actually holds one of the Springboks players down, or one of his Puma opposition down by his neck. Now a penalty. That's going to go against Marcos Crema. First, Willie LaRue going to go for the chip and chase. It's going back now to the 22 in favour of South Africa for the penalty. Otherwise, my Pumas will be losing by 60, says Santiago. And also, we have got there, actually, I'm thankful for this dismal performance, says Santiago. And also, we have got there, Huaka was offside, says Tony. And who do you think is man of the match? Depends on who wins this game. If the Springboks win, it's got to probably either be Malcolm Marks or Jasper Wiese. If it's going to be Argentina, you probably have to go to Juan Martin Gonzalez, but he did get a yellow card, so that slightly takes it down. Does Argentina commentators lose their cool and start screaming to the players? They don't do that often, says Santiago, and even 5 converted tries is not enough for South Africa, says Cooper Cronk. So yeah, it's certainly going to be a mountain to climb from here for the South Africans. The time is against them, but now it's just a question of can they win this game? Malcolm Marks throws it into the front. Pass back from Canon Moody. A rinser on the field. That is for Willie LaRue. Great counter-ruck from Argentina. Now big Dwayne Vermeulen. Tackled by Juan Martin Gonzalez. 45 metres out from the line now. Henrikse goes back to Kitsoff. Almost breaking the line, but great tackle made by Guido Petty. Just manages to roll out of the way of that breakdown. Now Frans Steyn puts up the bomb. The crowd have booed him for that one. It's going to be taken nicely in the 22. Dialende asking for a little bit of shepherding. Now one him off. It's risky. He's decided to run it himself. Great tackle made by Jesse Krill and the knock-on the ground from Argentina. The mistake made. And it is now going back for the initial knock-on. Oh, there's an injury here by the looks of it, so the time is off once again. Who do you think will win? It's a pick-em game at the moment. Both of these sides, South Africa, have not played anywhere near their best rugby in this game. The Pumas starting to fire back. Their discipline's been a lot better, but that's because they haven't been 5 metres out from their own line. Can't call for the mark in the year, says Darren. And there is on him off, wants South Africa to win the Rugby Championship, says Santiago. Okay, Jorge Montoya's cut open at the moment, Argentina. Say hi, says Jordan. Welcome in, Jordan. Blood replacement. Looks like it could be the case, which would be Augustin Crevi making his way out. Now, that man is an absolute brilliant individual, not just on the rugby field, but also in charge of the barbecue. We did see him cooking the meat for the Argentine side, the meat that is fueling them towards a 3-point deficit at the moment. What on earth are the Bok doing, says Greta. I think they've just got their tactics all wrong here. Unfortunately, they've thought of this game as a sprint rather than a marathon. They haven't been really taking the opportunities. We're going to be breaking it down in the post-match review. That's going to be probably quite a long one because we will look at all of the things that have happened. Just tape it up. Says Tony, yeah, it looks like they are going to be taping up Julio Montoya, so he should be able to continue just now. Who is shorter, Cheslin Colby or Faf de Klerk? I think it might be Cheslin Colby, to be honest. This is just terrible rugby, says T7. Yeah, it has not looked good for them. And Pumas are dangerous with nothing to lose. Exactly right. And I mentioned it at the start of the match. I said, as soon as you think that you can easily beat the Pumas, that's when they beat you. The All Blacks, they found that out at Orange Theory Stadium. Everyone that went, the Pumas have never won in New Zealand. We've got nothing to worry about. Beaten. One of those ones. Can never underestimate the Pumas. They need a good 19 combo, says Dossie and Brilliant commentating. Says it was Saffris. Hopefully I've said that correctly. But yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road currently to 18,000 subscribers. So if you do want to help us get there, we may even be able to get there by the end of this live stream. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it is hugely appreciated. Sorry, that was weird. My mouth wouldn't work. Are you going to Bride today or tomorrow, says Jordan? Being in New Zealand, I mean, if the weather's all right, I'll be keen for a nice barbecue. But normally, as soon as you say barbecue in New Zealand, it rains. Jasper Visa, 9 carries, 58 meters made, 5 defenders beaten, 1 try scored. He's certainly going to be up there as a man of the match contender if they get it right. I blame the coach. Choose all the wrong players, says Barry, or chose all the wrong players. And what is your sub goal? I guess our sub goal initially was actually 1,000, and we're quite far past that. So yeah, 18,000 by the end of the month would be quite nice, but I'm not too sure whether or not we will be able to get there. And also, Sean Men in Black, are you not bad for a Kiwi, says Dossie. I will take it. You know, I've had insults thrown at me on the live streams. This has been quite a pleasant one overall. I do thank you all for that. It always makes it a lot more fun when you guys, first of all, are commenting like you are. It's been absolutely awesome. And also are all looking at the positives, even though the South Africans are playing badly in this match. That is for sure. You guys are still well and truly supporting your side, which is awesome to see. And also, hello, all says Johnny, welcome in, mate. In South Africa, we don't barbecue, we braai, says it was Blitzkrieg. And now, what's wrong with us Kiwis, bruh? Says Tony B. I don't know. Some Kiwis are a bit annoying. And also, you guys are doing very well, Hamish. Keep it up, says Darren. That's going to be a big push for the Springboks. Oh, Jaden Hendrickson is not happy. Okay, so Damon Murphy, he just explained that very well. They could not play the advantage. Jaden Hendrickson was having an absolute yelling session at the referee for that one. But the reason he couldn't play that one was because of the break of the bind. We'll see it in the replay here. So because the bind was broken of Kwaka Smith, it meant that they weren't able to take that one quickly. And we braai whole sheep too? Like, do you at least, like, you know, take the wool off first, or do you just eat that as well? Now Malcolm Marks throws it in to Ludiacha. South Africa looking to get themselves a possible try for the first time in this half. We did see the last try for South Africa in the 28th minute. It's going to be a rolling more advantage now in favour of the Boks. It's going down 5 meters. No, it's not. They keep it marching. Here come the Boks. It's a penalty try. Uh-oh. Guess what? Penalty try. Who's getting one of these? Someone is, more than likely. Who's it going to be? Or is it just a straight penalty try? But it is going to be the clean 7 points for South Africa. And also we get the Kiwi to remove the wool. Says Dossie, a nice suit boss, says Bobbin. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. The penalty try for South Africa. The start of maybe a bit of a comeback in the second half. I know a comeback sounds weird to say when they are leading, but that is in reference to the fact that they need a certain number of points to be able to win the Rugby Championship competition. Also, you should start doing all the rugby league games for the 2023 season. We actually did both of the semi-finals. That was over on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. Be sure to check that out. So we are going to be doing the grand final as well. Right, the yellow card. Who is it this time? It is going to be, I believe that's Matthías Moroni. No, it's Geronimo de la Fuente. Does get penalised. He gets the yellow card for that one. And now the thing is, it's not completely off the table. The reason I say that is because with a man disadvantage, South Africa are going to continue going with that tactic. And also, we get that penalty try. Kidding me? Says Buttermilk, I am not. And only need 30 more points, says Daryl. And also, in other news, we are buying New Zealand lamb chops on our Heritage Day in Cape Town. And I saw the points change to 24 before it happened, says DJ. Also, Hamish with the props, says Darren. Yeah, I bought myself a pack of refereeing cards. Luckily, haven't had to bring out that one yet. But maybe in the future in this game, that's a knock-on from Makazole Mapimpi. And now it is going to be available for the Pumas. They have just picked it up. Big drive back from Sia Khaleesi all over for Joel Scalavi. Now Berrano goes short. It is going to be Michael Vivas. Made his way out onto the field. Back in the pocket. Carreras with some quick step and feet. I believe the advantage has almost ended. Sia Khaleesi wants the penalty. It goes against him, though. Hands down. Not on the ball straight away and not supporting his own body weight. Says Tony there. And don't think anyone's bothered about the championship anymore. They're too far off their target. It's just about winning the game, says Sebastian. And how much time is left? It is still another 24 minutes. Yeah, winning the game is going to be definitely a big one. Here come the box. Is that a ball war phrase, says Shane. And so looking at the ref instead of the ball, says Darren. And I feel like that's one of those ones that you either know you're doing something wrong or you think you're doing something right. I feel like for Sia Khaleesi, he probably thought he was doing something right, but it turned out he was doing it very wrong. And the penalty went the way of the Pumas. Scott Razor Robertson to coach the All Blacks, says Clement there. I don't think I said that correctly, or is it Clement? Maybe. And also, Hammy brother, what was the New Zealand versus Australia score? So it was 14 points to Aussie and 40 for New Zealand, which is why South Africa, they need to win this game by a 39-point margin. The Boxer offside, says Tony. And then now back across is going to be Scalavi. It's a decent carry. Berrano goes back across. Now Santiago Carreras. Good work from the Pumas with the clean-outs. Oh, Carreras. Or in fact, it was Marcos Crema almost had that ball drop. Now Berrano going short side. Juan Cruz Malia. They are starting to feel it here for the Pumas. It's a bit of a dodgy one from Jesse Krill, and he's given away the advantage for offside. Now around the side of the breakdown, it's going to be another advantage. This time it's against Ludiacha. Advantage offside. You can't dive through the ruck. That time it was against Jesse Krill. And Tony, I think you are a little bit ahead of me, so not too many spoilers if that's a possibility. Just not have the spoiler there. And Bomb Squad delayed, says Cited, and reckon a draw, says Nathan. I mean, there's a chance, to be fair. We have seen Dwayne Vermeulen make his way out onto the field. Also, Huaka Smith, I believe they are the only two subs South Africa have decided to make as of yet. And also, just like Jesse Krill, he is honestly bad at rugby. Oxnashare, man, who's very good and decent. Tony says, sorry, no worries at all, mate. It is just because I am on Sky Go rather than Sky. It does mean there's a bit more of a delay for myself. That's all. Kitsoff is off the field now. And South Africa, they're going to have a defending line out to deal with straight away. I see Vincent Koch, Mr. Incredible, is out there in the front row as well. It's going to be taken not so cleanly by Argentina. Now, Juan Matan Gonzalez, he has got some quick step and feet like a back, but he's got the size of a forward and the strength for 1-2. Vincent Koch, though, he has got some super strength of his own right, and that's going to be 10 metres out from the line now. South Africa have got another opportunity with the ball. 10 metres out from the line. So Kendricksa is going to have to use this one. He does go for the box kick, looking for the touch line, and has been able to find it with an effective kick. Kitsoff is a force to be reckoned with, says a Blitzkrieg there. And also, just thought I have to look that up, says Shane, and it's cock on. He is indeed. And Springboks playing mind games this season. Next year, they win everything, says And it was there from Clement and Rasty's plan. And also we've got there Faf to replace Jesse, and then Franz go out to outside centre and Faf to 10. Could be a possibility. And the 6-2 split once again for the Springboks. Seems like it's going to backfire for them a little bit. And Gonzalez has become my favourite guy. He's done that to LaRue so dirty. It was a great step though, wasn't it? Or Uria Paleta making his way out onto the field now. For Argentina, they are still going to be playing with only the 14 men on the field for the next 6.5 minutes. Means you're in big trouble, Shane. And excuse me, second time for my medicine, JB. And also we have got cock out, says Fluffy. And then who's going on between Krill, or what's going on between Krill and Nanaiba? I always say his name wrong. Nanaiba? Is that correct? Is it because he sucks? Says Darwana Rinse making it to number 10, Franz 13, and Hendrickson 9. Jesse Krill off. Okay, interesting. They're certainly going to need a reshuffle at some point, though. There's an injury at the moment. Oh, that was going to almost be another one. Always landed hard for Emiliano Boffelli. He looks like he's taken the wind out of himself, but he's going to be able to get up. And give a shout out to Alanda. Shout out to Alanda. I don't actually know too many Alandas, actually. So, to be fair, one of the first. And also, we get that, please, says Daryl. Jesse Krill sucks, says it was Bobbin. And here we are going to be breaking down this game. Once it is finished, it is going to be on the Kiwi Lads channel as well. To anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I've realized this game is once again running a little bit later than anticipated, so we are going to change our time. That one for the post-match review will be starting. That will be at 6:10 a.m. New Zealand time. Here we go. Currently 10 points. The different they are playing summer of 69. 69 would have been exactly how many points the Springboks would have liked to score heading into this contest. And Boks get scrum training from by pulling tractors on the farm. Can't beat that. And any good reserves that the Boks can bring on to score tries. I will actually show you the reserves while we are at it. There is an injury for Argentina. So far, the players who have made their way onto the field: Oxnasher, Vincent Koch, Dwayne Vermeulen, Huacha Smith, and Arinsa, which means they only have Faf de Klerk and Franco Moster, as well as Bongi Mbonambi, and the rain is now falling, unfortunately, at the ground. So the points differential on the live ladder, they still need another 29 added points to be able to get themselves to first in the competition. And alongside that, they do need 2 more extra tries. The Springboks, like I mentioned, I think the management of how they decided they were going to go at this challenge has just been all off. And also we have got there to Faf recover from his injury. He did. And in the end, and Ninaba, hopefully I said that correctly. And also he really said, Jesse Krill sucks with a lot of passion, says JC. I said it how he would have said it, which I know would have been very angrily. Championship point is gone. South Africa only play for pride, says Spider-Meek. And well won, New Zealand. You are the champions for this year. I don't think the Boks will be able to score the points they need, says Hunter. And also we have got there any good reserves. Oh no, I read that one. Okay, they're going up to check this one. It's actually his own teammate that does take out Emiliano Boffelli, so I don't think there'll be anything too cynical in there. And also, how many points do the Boks need to win? They do need another 29 points in the next 19 minutes. De Klerk needs to stop worrying about his hair and score us a try, says Blitzkrieg. And 4 more converted tries is still not enough for South Africa. Goes up. Ooh. Okay, so Kanan Moody, sorry. I think they're checking to see if there was obstruction on a Pumas player that then led to the dangerous landing for another Pumas player. And when did Faf de Klerk recover? And please say my name, says Jordan. There you go. But Faf de Klerk, he recovered actually relatively... Okay, so Eben Etzebeth did a double-handed shove to then mean that Gonzalo Berrano took out his own player. And also Ninaba. Ninaba? Is that correct? Pronunciation? Also, it was a push test, Tony. And also, we were there, Faf should go play netball. And also, I remember when Faf got knocked out in the first 40 seconds by Caleb Clark in the first test, South Africa versus Argentina. And then Jesse Krill got knocked out by that same player, Caleb Clark. Ooh. Wow. That's pretty huge. So they are saying that Eben Etzebeth is going to have a yellow card here because he pushed the player from the Pumas into his teammate. That's the thing. There was a lot of time between when he hit the player and when the player went into Cannon Moody and then ran into his team. And also, we get that show us your monitor for some live action. Unfortunately, if I show any match footage or audio, they take us straight off YouTube for 3 months. So yeah, I do end up unemployed for pretty much all the time till Christmas, which would be a bit unfortunate. And imagine the box forwards with the AB's backs unstoppable, says Daryl, which I think is why a lot of people want to see a Southern Hemisphere Lions side. Eben Etzebeth going to the bin for the next 10 minutes. So both sides playing with 14 men. And now Ura Paletta will be able to kick this one for the touchline. 20 minutes left on the clock. And Ura Paletta does nicely get that one in touch. I think I'm actually going to have to update my time that the next one's starting again. And it's actually going to be at 6:15. This game is run very long. It's going to be about a 2 hour and 10-minute fixture, which is impressive for all the wrong reasons. But the rolling maul of the Pumas now sets up once again, doing nicely, marching forward is Los Pumas. Another advantage in favor of the Pumas and Aurea Montoya. Nice work from Thomas Lavanini. Gonzalo Berrano recycles now back to Guido Petty. And can someone please tell me what happens if the Bok don't get the points they need? They will finish second, but they will not be able to finish first. Oh, it's set back up for Argentina, trying to crawl a little bit. Now Berrano going short side. Needed to find that offload, the number 23 for the Argentines. They're going to be going back because there was a knock on. They're going right back for the penalty. A Southern Hemisphere versus Northern Hemisphere match. Yeah, would be pretty awesome. But I don't see them doing it anytime soon. Does Eben Etzebeth have anger issues? Maybe a few. But one of those players, we were talking about this earlier on, myself and my mum as well. Some of the players use their aggression wisely. Other players just sometimes make bad decisions. Eben Etzebeth, more than likely, about 80 to 90% of the time, he uses that aggression in a useful manner for the Boks. And Boks need a dry their tears, says Prime Minister, and also South Africa not as good as they, says Cody Brown. And also we have got there, Etzebeth is lethal. He's a loose cannon. I love him, says Blitzkrieg. And also New Zealand deserve it. Congratulations, All Blacks so far. Looks like ABs have won the Rugby Championship. It does seem that way, unless, of course, the Springboks can get 4 converted tries and something. So I think that's pretty tricky. And also, is Sia fast? And when you say my comment, can you say my name? I do normally say the name, Jordan, quite a bit. That is normally what we do. We read out the person who makes the comment. Is Sia fast? Sia Khaleesi? He's quite a quick individual. That's going to be held up for Argentina. And it will be a goal line dropout now for the Springboks. Etzebeth looked unhinged versus Australia. Yeah, him and Alan Alatoa. The thing is with Etzebeth, you can tell when he's getting angry, when his eyeballs start getting wider and wider. And then he gets to the point of just beyond being able to, like, his eyes look like they're going to pop out of his head. And even as a beast on the field, he's very humble off it. Says Card Crazy, and South Africa needs a better squad. They need Lukaniwam, Honore Pollard, and Cheslin Colby back. The only problem there is, I believe 2 out of the 3 are currently injured. And even is massive, but not quite a Buckius, says JC. Kick long, down to the 22. In fact, the halfway line. Ura Paletta for the Pumas. Now looking to attack the line. Good low tackle made by Sia Khaleesi. South Africa looking for a bit of urgency there. Kick down low, looking for the skiddy ball. It's going to go to Kurtley Arunsa, who has done a nice kick, or has he? Yes, it's just managed to bounce in the field of play. Looked like Argentina considered taking it quickly, but they will not in the end. Instead, they will go for the line out. And also, we've got, as an England fan, I'm starting to get concerned about the Pumas. Again, we're in the same World Cup pool. They've grown massively as a unit, says Sebastian there. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome group. Also, Japan in that same group, aren't they? So that will be an interesting one. Did you play rugby when you were young? I certainly did. And kind of around under 9s, I think I stopped playing because we had a fly half and a halfback. They didn't pass the ball at all. So that was pretty much, I guess you could say, the end of my rugby career, sadly. But I still do the occasional kicking video and whatnot, as some of you guys will know. When is the World Cup starting? The Rugby World Cup, it is going to be pretty much a year from now. Kurtley Arunsa thought he was in with a decent chance, but they're going to be going back for the initial penalty. Always spit bride mini chicken, mini sheep, a couple pigs, a warthog, an ox, and a giraffe. Thanks, Shane. That is an impressive list. And what position did you play? I was out on the wing, so I never really touched the ball. And after Dwayne Vermeulen got injured, he became soft. says Bob in there. And Etzebeth is a cannon anchored down paper clips. Or cannon anchored down with paper clips, says Cited. Argentina once again win themselves another penalty. It's been crucial in this game for the second half. It's completely turned around, I should say. And aiming for president, says Johnny. And now, what a bad Springbok team, says Adrian. And we are going to be going through, breaking it all down in the next live stream. It is going to be our post-match review. That will be starting in 20 minutes' time. We'll be looking through at the mistakes that were made out on the park, what they should have done differently, and also the winner of this match. It's currently does seem like it could still go either way. Julian Montoya looking to the short side. This is nice work. Faf de Klerk in through the side. This could be cynical against Faf de Klerk now. The advantage in favour of Argentina. Big blow of the whistle. Double blow of the whistle. Faf de Klerk, do you like yellow? Because I think you're about to see it. Faf de Klerk, cynical act. He's gone to the bin. And that is about the 57th yellow card that was seen in the Rugby Championship. That's an exaggeration, but it's quite high up there. And also we have got there Hamish on the wing, says Derek. And what was the Stormers score? They were able to get themselves the bonus point win. I'm just going to have a quick look. The Stormers, they won 38 points to 15 up against Connacht. So Faf de Klerk and Eben Etzebeth, two very experienced players, both sitting on the bench now. And the penalty try, not quite. They were far enough out. Jesse and Tender, says Gideon. And also, we have got there, all of the teams are inconsistent except the ABs. Although, the All Blacks were inconsistent at the start of the competition, going 1-1 and 1-1 in their two-match series up against the Springboks and Argentina. Faf stopped a try, says Tony. And also, Faf just further proven as useless. So the Springboks, they are down to 13 men at this current point in time, whereas Argentina, they are playing with 14. Little mistake there. Jesse Creel hard going back. Another penalty for Argentina. Double blow of the whistle. Time off. Sia Khaleesi. He's getting called over. I've just put someone in the bin. Okay, 7 penalties in a row up against the Springboks. Sia Khaleesi has to have a chat with his team now to make sure that they don't end up going wrong. And also, we have got the how did Ulster go? They managed to get themselves the win. It was a high-scoring contest, almost 100 points between the two sides. And also, we have got too many damn cards in this game. And yes, Adrian, says Cody there. And also, Faf on his giraffe. And so many yellow cards for this competition. Yeah, exactly right. Almost too many for my liking, I'd have to say. Okay, Ura Paleta. Okay, Ura Paleta just asking Damon Murphy something about the kick. That one has gone into Dutch 5 metre scrum, 5 metre line out. It's going to be available. Are they still playing? Because you're talking bad now, says Rian. They are, but they were just waiting for, first of all, Faf de Klerk to go to the bin, and then that kick of Ura Paleta to be taken. It was probably about 30 seconds. He used the maximum time that was allowed. Augustin Crevi now going to receive it at the back of the rolling ball, 5 metres out from the line. They'll be told to use it once. Springboks trying to push it towards that touch line. Breaking off the back, Augustin Crevi. Tackled there, 5 metres out. Ura Paleta, 7 years ago, Argentina were victorious on South African soil. Can they do it again in this contest for the Rugby Championship, in which they have finished higher than they have ever before in terms of the points? Quick hands, Ura Paleta now on the outside. Some nice stepping there down the short. So there's actually a man almost in the way of the camera that time. And nice sense of humour, mate, says Sifras. And there as well, now going back down, couple metres short of the line. Now around the side, Tomas Kubeli almost gets flattened out over the try line. They have to release this if you are the Springboks. It's available. Passed out the back. Ura Paleta. Now Juan Cruz Malia. Gone round Jesse Krill. Between the sticks. He could have tried to reach out, but he decides against it in the end. Smart play from Argentina. Now they've got numbers. Wide cutout pass. It will be the try for Argentina. Running it back in. And that will be the try now for Matthías Moroni. That's another one. Okay, Matthías Moroni scoring it in the 67th minute of this contest. South Africa really struggling now with the 13 men out on the park, and it seems like Argentina finding themselves the comeback in the later stages of this contest. Game on, says Novmum. And also, we have got there in the chat. Sorry, I'm late, mate. Looking good on that tie, says Max Power. Do appreciate it a lot. And also we have got there, are you a New Zealand fan or a South Africa fan? I'm pretty impartial. Overall, I'm from New Zealand, so I should be a New Zealand supporter, but I've fallen in love with the South African style of rugby. I've been watching all of the Curry Cup. We've been doing a majority of the live streams for that one. Also, alongside that, we have been doing the URC, and I've just been watching whole heap. That's South African rugby. South Africa are going to blow it. Will join best 14 this season, says Clement there. And this predicament is Australia's fault, specifically Foley. He screwed more than just his own team lost, says JC, and nobody on this platform, to any regard, is just corrupt, says Lady Lynn. And South Africa are going to blow it. And how many tries do the Box need now, says Tony? Unfortunately, a moment, this kick goes over. So the Box, they're going to need a lot. They need like 5 converted tries and then something. 5 converted and something here. Definitely not T7, says Cody, and Viva la Pumas. And there says a Whenua there. And I think the Box now need 50 tries to win. And I miss the real Bok, or how do I miss the real Bok of the 90s? So 3 points in it. Anyone's game, exactly right. Still 10 minutes left. It's going to be the question of, was it going to go down to the wire? And was it going to be South Africa pushing for that bonus point win? Or was it going to be a close game like this? And now either side have to just try and push themselves towards the victory. Oxnashare doing well. South Africa playing with 13 men on the park. Kurtley Arunsa going to be the halfback for the side. Actually wouldn't fit too badly into halfback, I wouldn't think. Arunsa once again on the halfway line. And also All Blacks is the best team in the world. Point, says Gert. And also there, Foley messed up big time. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes, says Floyd. That's a high tackle. That's a big high tackle. Is it worth the card, or is it just going to be the high tackle there? Bongyom Banambi asking the ref for a penalty of some sort. I mean, the crowd will boo. It's nothing worse than we saw from Malcolm Marx earlier on in the game. I don't see it as a yellow card. Are the Wallabies in last as it stands? They certainly are at the moment. And also, I guess with no appetite at the table if the Pumas wins, says Lady Lynn. And also we have got there, and the chat, mitigation, change of height, says Tony. Around the shoulder onto the neck is the comment from the South African commentator. Right, Eben Etzebeth has made his way back out onto the field. Franco Moster also now out on the park for the Springboks. So I believe they have now made every single change that they could have in this competition, as Bongyum Banambi has also made his way out there onto the field. The first line out was straight from Umanambi, 22 metres out for the Springboks. Passes it across to Damien Dialende. Augustine Crevi got his head on the wrong side. Could have knocked himself out there, but luckily he is still standing. Mako Vivas tries to wrestle it to ground. Nice work from Franco Mostert to protect. Quaka Smith plays half. It's going to be the knee taken out from Eben Etzebeth. That's going to be the advantage as well now. Off the feet, Quaka Smith trying to pierce his way through. Great body position that will be considered as a penalty to the Springboks for an earlier infringement and bring on the 10 nations. So what if the Pumas win? Do they get second? Not quite. So the way that the table sits currently, because the Pumas were only on the 9 points, it does mean at best they can get themselves up to, I believe it is 14 points, but their points differential is not strong enough to get them up into second place. So they can finish third. Even if they lose this game, but they lose it by less than 7, they still manage to get themselves third in the Rugby Championship. That is receiving the losing bonus point, though. That is the must for them. And next year's semi-final for the Rugby World Cup will be South Africa versus New Zealand. That's going to be a massive clash for a semi-final, that is for sure. Or is that actually quarter-final? And don't write off the box. This is not their team. They are working for the World Cup, and we are going to kick ass in France. Don't worry. Says a Blitzkrieg. Now rolling maul. Starting to go nicely. This is close. The box, they put it down. It's another penalty try. I'm going to have to get my yellow card out again. Who's getting it this time? But the Pumas have just conceded another one. I have no idea who it is going to be who goes to the bin, but it is a penalty try. 18. So I believe that, oh no, it's not him, is it? Once again, unfortunately, the day couldn't get any worse for the Argentine number 18, Joel Scalavi. He has been sin-binned. He has been penalised multiple times. He has dropped the ball And now he certainly dropped the ball with that one because it's going to be the 7 points to the Argentinians, or sorry, to the Springboks. And that one, 18 has gone to the bin. A day he will want to forget because he has had an absolute shocker, Joel Scalavi, since making his way out onto the park. And hard work from the Bok. Okay, thanks. So if they themselves third, does Aussie drop in the rankings? I don't believe they'll drop due to how they finish in the Rugby Championship, but with Australia losing to New Zealand, they may drop a little bit more. And I love you commentating. I can watch you commentate for hours, says Bobbin. That is very lucky because every weekend we do somewhere in between probably 10 to 20 hours of live streaming. So be sure, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Ura Paletta looks for the offload. Nicely cleaned up by the Pumas. Oxner Share trying to contest. Doesn't quite get it to go his way. Now Augustine Crevi. Oh, it's a brilliant offload to Thomas Gubelli. Breaks through the tackle of Kurtley Arinsa, who did miss that one. Pop back out the back. Now over the ball. Doesn't get it though. 40 metres out now from the Springbok line. The wide cut-out pass from Matthías Moroni. It's a knock-on advantage against Cannon Moody. Goes in behind, sits up, and they will be going back for the knock-on as long as we get the win and more penalty tries than player tries, says JP. Or sorry, says JC, I should say. And was that ever a penalty try, says Tony? Because they did drag it down illegally just before it made it to the line. They were working on the theory that the Springboks, they were going to be driving over. They weren't able to do so because of the cynical act from the Argentine number 18. And correct the scoreboard, please, says Adrian. It is very slow, isn't it? Hasn't given the Springboks that penalty try yet. And also our penalty tries were once a year, says RJJ. At the moment, they're once a game, aren't they? The penalty tries. The time is off currently. Hopefully it does update it, but it is 10 points different. Is Damian Willemse permanently 10 or Andre Pollard? I think a nice mixture of both would work well. Andre Pollard, he's still got a lot of experience. Update your score, bro. It is completely online, so I can't actually change it, sadly. I do just have to wait until they decide to update. There we go. They have just done it right on cue. And the move to Europe hasn't done anything to improve South African rugby, says Terry Evans. And also, we have got there, looks like a beige card you're holding. Yeah, unfortunately, due to the green screen, does change the color a little bit. If I get it at the right angle, it almost completely disappears. My face can also kind of become a stadium, which is kind of cool. More yellow cards this year too, exactly right. And also South Africa can't play a high-tempo game, and love you, says Clint. And there as well. Right, back out on the field, it's going to be Eduardo Bello. Now, the big thing for me is why wasn't he out there earlier? Because I know that he went off the field for the blood bin. But I would have thought with the way that Scalavi was playing, it would have been a good move. Are you New Zealand or South African, says Jordan? I am from New Zealand. And also no worries, one more year to wait, and they'll lose their status as world champs. No way they're winning it all, or no way they're winning it all in France, says Sebastian. And also the time left, we have got 6 minutes left on the clock. I almost said 4, but it is 6 still left to play between the sides. Argentina got the scrum feet 40 metres out from the Springboks line. It's a big push from the box. That's got to be a penalty. The way of the box, and it certainly is now. And also 29 points in 6 minutes. Can the box do it? Says Floyd Kingy. So that is going to be 4 converted tries and something. Vincent Cox won the penalty, though. That is the start of it for the Springboks. And nice, says Jordan. So currently we're seeing 3 tries from Argentina. That's a great kick down towards the 22. And from the Argentinians, from the Springboks, we have seen 4 tries. So 2 more tries in the next little moment will get them the bonus point, and it will come down to points differential. Beneficially, I think that would work a lot better for the Boks, as they can at least say they are on the same points as the side that finished first. And so confused what the Boks is trying to do. Yeah, the game play or the game plan for the Boks has not been right throughout this match, I don't think. We're going to be breaking it down on the post-match review, though. Be looking through everything that could have changed in this match extra time. Thank you for the commentary. Like before, they brought TV to South Africa, says Shane Walker. So hugely appreciated. I can't speak anymore. I'm too excited. Hugely appreciated there, mate. And yeah, it's been great having you here. Now, Faf de Klerk back out on the field as well after this yellow card. So both sides playing with, I was about to say both sides playing with 15, but now South Africa are actually back to playing with the 15, whereas Argentina are only playing with the 14. Thomas Lavanini is down, so really it's 15-13 now for the Pumas in their defensive side of things. Almost in there, Augustine Crevi, de Klerk, goes back to Oshnia Share, taken out low. Faf de Klerk, Back again to Franstein. Runs it hard at the line. I think Jesse Creel was almost a little bit in front of him there. And being close to the obstruction. Now Joaquin Smith, another Argentine player down. That time, I believe it is Marco Vivas. I think they're almost defending with 12 now on the field. Now de Klerk goes back across. Now Eben Etzebeth. If South Africa don't score now, they'll be really disappointed. It's going to be a knock on from Faf de Klerk. He's saying the player didn't roll away. Faf de Klerk has to be careful here. Probably a little bit hard done by there. But they want to be sure to hit that button or the like button and subscribe. Also tune in for the post-match review. So yeah, anyone who is, do be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hugely appreciated all you guys being here. I don't rejoice the victory of the Boks, says Adrian, and true, your commentary is too lekker. Rugby is the best game ever, says Natasha there. And also we have got there, Agfaf, says Maritza. $10 points difference here. Argentina, they still will keep on playing to the final whistle of this game, because if they get within the 7, they should know if they're within 7, they beat Australia on the championship board. And also beige card means refs on the Boks side, says Jane. And also we have got there Lickities, says Cody Brown. So it is a scrum feed for Argentina, just inside of their own 22. It's looking like some tired bodies out on the park. Now, the rain has been falling in the second half, and that's actually seemed to benefit Argentina a little bit more than South Africa here. 76.5. Like I mentioned, Faf has been shocking throughout the tournament, says Sebastian. And also, this was a nail-biting Rugby Championship, says Clement. It was awesome to see all of the sides so competitive, winning, pretty much going back and forth throughout the rounds. And I feel like it's exactly what we wanted. Everyone has said for a while they want a close Rugby Championship. They've finally got it here now. And hopefully it does keep on continuing to be close in the future also. Now scrum feed, finally about to go down. Update score, please. It is currently sitting 31 points to 21 with 76.5 minutes down. So this is the correct score as it currently sits. And also most competitive championship yet, says Clint. And also Boks were well under pressure, usually the case, says Blitzkrieg. It's gone down in the front row once again, but it's going to be available for Argentina to use at the back. Faf de Klerk gives away another penalty. He's just got that one wrong. And Foley stuffing around. Look for the Boks in Australia. And South Africa needs to say south, don't go north. If the All Blacks didn't beat the Pumas by 50, South Africa was going to win probably, says Bobbin. And yeah, that is a big one. That result, at the end of the day, the points differential. Oh, Makazole Mapupi's foot was on the line there. So Argentina are going to have themselves another line-out throw. The Boks is playing bad, says Jean. Yeah, this has not been the best game we have ever seen from the Springboks. The fact that they've still got 31 points in a game that they have played quite rough in is probably impressive in its own right. But they only averaged 4 tries in South Africa. They only averaged 4 tries in their head-to-head games up against the Pumas. And they have got that exact number for this. All Blacks will surely win the Rugby Championship. They certainly will. Now, it's nicely taken. Not straight, though. Damon Murphy, but disappointed with that one. Augustine Crevi, even more disappointed. And also, what does it mean, bro? It pretty much means bad is the nice way of putting it. You could say. And also, unfuffing believable. And they need a new coach, especially in an attacking game or what's happening with the Bok. This is not the Bok I remember and love. And well done for the Pumas for pushing the Boks. I'm glad they've given the Boks everything, says Dylan Jordan. Yeah, they have come up and they have certainly made sure that they've put it, I guess, made it a bit of a challenge. They had so many penalties against them early on, but then the Springboks, they seemed to change the tactic when it was finally working for them. But that was maybe because Argentina getting a little bit more of the ball. Might as well bring back Herschel Yankees as Hendricks' replacement. Drop Faf for good. What is your favourite vegetable and fruit, says Coding? I do enjoy a mango, and I do enjoy a potato if that counts as a vegetable. Don't mind broccoli either. Faf de Klerk puts the ball in. 1 minute left on the clock of the Rugby Championship. It's gone down. Faf de Klerk back across to Damien Dialende and behind Franstein. Skip pass out to Cannon Moody. He's put the ball down out on the wing. And now back across for the Pumas. They've got another attacking opportunity. This is for a spot in the top 3 of the Rugby Championship. It's going to be Eduardo Bello. Has a good crack forward. Joaquin Smith leaves his feet. That's going to be the penalty and also not rolling away. Pumas take it quickly And now Urapaleta looking for a gap to open up. He's just gone straight up the middle, but Etsebev able to make the tackle on him. Burrano passes wide now. Juan Cruz Malia. Nice flat pass out to Juan Matan Gonzalez, the quick stepping number 6. Did score a beautiful try earlier on. De Klerk complaining about something. At this point, I think if you're Damon Murphy, you just let him complain. You say, all right, Fuff. Now, nice tackle made by Makazole Mapimpi, one of the quietest players for the Springboks throughout the last 2 rounds. It's a shame because before that point, he was the leading man for defenders beaten. He was also right up there for the meters carried in the comp. Now, looking for the offload. It's a mistake. Huaka Smith steals it. And now the Springboks, they want one last chance here. Damien Dialende goes across to Sia Kalisi now. They cannot get themselves a bonus point for this play, but this is just the Springboks playing for pride and trying to show everyone what they can do in the final moments of the game. Makazole Mapimpi finally gets the ball. He's passed it on the outside to Kanamuri. Inside ball to Kurtley Arinsur. Now, the only one I'm wondering about is maybe that first initial pass that we saw from Makazole Mapimpi. Other than that, I think it is a try for the Springboks right at the end of the game. And Arinsur has been able to score his second international career try in his second game of international rugby. And whereabouts from New Zealand? You're from? I am in South Canterbury, in the South Island, right? Makazole Mapimpi finally getting some running meters. That pass, yeah, I think it's flat enough. Was all right for Makazole Mapimpi. And Arinsur does manage to score the last try of the contest. And the question is, I'm going to have to ask it, where was that throughout the game? That's the first time they've used their backline effectively in this game for South Africa. It's a shame because it just showed how effective it can be. Marika Korombedi is my favourite Wallaby, says Bob in there. And also we have got there too little too late, says Terry Evans. Exactly right. That kick's gone over. So the end score in this contest, it will be 38 points to 21. Will be New Zealand finishing first in the Rugby Championship, the Springboks in second. Then in third, it is going to be Australia and then Argentina in fourth place. Now, that man was asking the question to his friend. He was saying 2 or 3 tries ahead, just the 2, which means they don't receive the bonus point. So they will finish the competition on 18 points in total. We have got Balclufa, South Otago, says Whenua. Oh, okay, so not actually too far away from the South. And well done, the All Blacks, says Derek there. And also, we've got good players, but a bad coach with a mismanaged squad and great commentary game. Subscribe, says Ali Schmidt. Do appreciate that a lot. Anyone who is new, also be sure to hit that subscribe button. What's the weather in Christchurch? It is a little bit up the road, but the moment here it is 8 degrees and cloudy. Just about to become morning, which isn't too bad at all. And also got a video and Farrell, says Troy. And well done, Captain Khaleesi, says Nathan. There as well, another wooden spoonie, says it was Max Powell. Although, the thing is, Argentina having 9 points in this year, they had not scored a single point in the last 2 or 3 Rugby Championship competitions. And to now go beat the All Blacks, beat Australia, it's actually, I'd say, a very impressive one for them. And thank you, lads. So what's next, says Troy B. So next, I believe I am going to be heading to bed for a little bit. But tomorrow night, we have got the Gallagher Premiership. We are covering that on the channel. Harlequins, they will be taking on the Exeter Chiefs. That is at 3 a.m. New Zealand time. But before that, I should mention, we have got the post-match review on the channel that is going to be coming up in 2 minutes' time. So be sure to check that out. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Like I mentioned, we're coming back for the post-match review where we talk through all of the stats to do with this fixture. And also, we do the review of the game. It is scheduled. We will indeed. So that is the last one that we have got for today, but a little bit further in the future. That is the one that we have got for the Gallagher Premiership. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in about 2 minutes' time for our post-match review of this contest. We'll see you all for the next one.